James Muniz. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. It's good to meet you.
Yes, sir.
So go ahead and tell us, where you're born and raised and what you're here for.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in Abilene, Texas, 1994. About to be 32 in June. So, but I'm here to represent. I'm the owner of Blue Collar Mentality, and just want to get that out there. I've took a lot of pride in this, so I'm excited to see where it goes.
Nice.
I kind of, the whole movement of the blue collar mentality for me is just, sacrifice, provide, a lot of us guys that are in the blue collar field. I mean, you don't actually have to be in the blue collar field. That's the whole point of, when I came up with the name blue collar mentality, it's just more of a mindset type deal, getting up early.
Yeah, I get that.
Staying late. And so I think that, the blue collar mentality is something that can be for everybody. So
That's awesome. What kind of stuff do you sell, man?
So I sell shirts, hats. I got some stickers. I'm really not like crazy big on a lot of stuff yet. I'm just trying to work. I'm just, filling it out. I got a couple of, I've actually done pretty good with some sales, I'm not getting rich by any means, but,
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay. And so it's fun. But yeah, it's just apparel really right now. But hopefully in the future I can do other stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
I want to start kind of doing pop-ups and car shows, especially since I have a classic car. I haven't done one yet just because, when you're investing into it with your own money, you have to buy bulk shirts and bulk this and bulk that. And then, all the fancy canopies and, I guess you don't really have to, but it looks better.
Yeah, it looks
more
better.
appealing.
Yeah, for sure. When you get your stuff all over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing with this. Just, every month I'm like, all right, I got a little extra,
Yeah.
a couple $100 here, a couple
Oh, yeah.
$100 there, just trying to make it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just trying to get people like you on so you can get the word out.
Heck yeah, dude. I appreciate the opportunity.
Right on. What really, really inspired you to get into like the apparel business?
Honestly, man, I have a bunch of ideas, and I really like to open up a business, like a big business, but this is just kind of get my feet wet with it. And so I was like, man, this is kind of probably a little small overhead. It's really not, actually. It's expensive. But, yeah. So that's really what it kind of just, having the mindset of just kind of starting my own business type deal,
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is fun. Dude, I need a hobby. I need something
Yeah.
to keep me going. I can't just sit around and read a book, unfortunately. I wish I could. My wife, she can sit there and read, 12 series of a book. And I'm like, man, that's awesome. That's good.
Yeah, I'm not that. I have to force myself to
Yeah.
read it. If I really get disciplined enough, I can like do it.
Yeah.
I need to like challenge myself to do like 50 books
Yeah.
in a year or something, and I could
Yeah.
probably end up doing it because I'm competitive.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's a big part of it, man. Like, just really I'm competitive. I'm very competitive. Like, anything I do, I'm like trying to be the best I can do it, but be at it. But yeah, I think trying to do this business, it's kind of, you kind of get, sucked into it, and you're like, man, I got to go full force into this, and you start buying this and buying that. And we started with a Cricut.
yeah.
So we started with the Cricut. We were making our own shirts, and I'm working all the time, as a lineman, and so I'm like, dude, fuck this, dude. Like, I can't do this. I'm not gonna sit here and peel every freaking vinyl thing off of this, whatever it is, and I'm pressing the shirts, and like I'll buy like 50 shirts, and I'm sitting there, and it's like 10 o'clock at night. My son's asleep. At that point in time, it was a newborn, so I'm trying to get all this stuff done while he's asleep, and I'm in there and I'm trying to press these shirts. I bought a press off of Amazon, and I'm like pressing the shirt. And I lift it up, and it's all crooked and lopsided. I'm like, golly, throw it to the side, and so I'm like, babe, come here. I need some help. So I'd put the shirt on. She'd stick it to me. I'd take it off real slow, put it on the press, and I'm over here pressing it. But it's just so time consuming.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
And then you sit here and you're like, man, like I want one of those ones that prints like 5, you know,
Mm-hmm. I've seen those.
and
Yeah.
it's like $3,200. I'm like, oh, I'm not even making $3,200 a month on this stuff. You know, at
Oh
this point,
yeah.
I'm just going to lose money. So I wound up doing a whole printful ship on demand type deal, which is really nice because, you know, I can have as many clothing, hats, whatever, stickers, whatever I want. And basically, they make it for me, print it, ship it off. I don't have to deal with anything. So it's
That's
nice.
awesome.
Now, there is a little bit more of a fee to that, but it takes away from anything that I'm doing just so I can kind of get going. You know what I mean? Like there for a minute, dude, I bought like 1,000 shirts. I think I still have like, I don't know, probably like 500 in my closet just waiting to get sold. Which I plan on trying to take to like the car shows or
Oh
doing
yeah.
like pop-ups, which I eventually want to. I know like in Burleson, there's like, you know, they have like a, you know, on Saturdays, what I think they have some type of like a market or
Yeah,
whatever.
they do like a farmer's market thing in
Yeah.
downtown.
So I
Yeah.
thought about doing something like that, but you know, then you're stuck with all this overhead,
Oh yeah.
and it's like, man, I'm not selling these shirts, you know, just staring at them, collect dust.
That's all right. We'll get the word out there.
Yeah.
Do you have like a? Do you put stuff on Facebook and like?
Yeah. So I have a Facebook, I got an Instagram, I got a TikTok, all the stuff.
Man,
know,
you're
I'm
way
trying
ahead
to,
of
I'm
me.
trying to keep up with everything.
I have a
I just,
I just have a Facebook page with
oh
this
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Dude, I went and bought a $3,000 camera, one of those Sony A7s, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna start taking my own pictures because I got quotes from people to, you know, because I need like models
Oh yeah.
and so I went out and bought me a camera, and dude, it's freaking awesome. You got to get a camera.
Oh yeah.
One of those fancy ones.
I'm trying to get like right now I just got like a this was just like a webcam.
Yeah,
But I did buy an interface. I just got to figure out how to hook it up because I'm still learning all this. I was in a band a long time ago, so I kind of knew like how microphones and all that stuff work. But I got one now, and I've got multiple cameras, and I got to figure out where to put the damn things. But so it'd be like when I talk, it shows me, and then
yeah,
when you talk, it shows you, and then like if you have another person over here, it shows.
yeah,
I got to get all that set up. I got
yeah.
the stuff to do it, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's like $3,000 a kid. These things are like,
Yeah, it is expensive, but it's dude, it is fun. Like that is, you know, that's one of those hobbies that it's kind of cool because like I thought, you know, you just buy the camera and you don't, you know, you take pictures and you're good to go. No, go to the editing stage. That right there is it's extremely exhausting. Like you'll have like, you know, 100 pictures. You're like, man, this one looks just like this one. You're sitting here trying to edit this picture or a video, and which of course, you know, you have YouTube and all this stuff, but yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. That's for sure. That's part of the reason why there's probably not a lot of people that actually get fully invested
do
in
it,
that.
yeah.
But being who I am, I'm like, no, I got this. I'm gonna do it. But yeah, so I'm planning on trying to do like my own models and shoots and stuff. Once my car's finished, I really want to use my car as a kind of like the mascot of the company. You know?
yeah, nice little tax write-off. too,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's nice for sure.
Nah, that's awesome though, man. So right now, okay, how do you market?
So, you know, of course, my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Really, I'm spending money on ads. You
Just
know,
spending money,
spending
yeah.
money on ads and trying to get that out there. But, you know, I feel like you know the whole advertising thing. You know, with the whole meta and all this stuff. You know, you have to hit it just right. And like I kind of told you earlier, you know, I haven't really got the, you know, the balls to basically post myself online.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm just like, man, this is just so, it's kind of cringe, you know. But
Yeah.
I know it needs to get done. Like eventually, I'll get there. I will get there. You'll see my face on Facebook or Instagram or.
Oh, we're gonna definitely see it on
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah,
and
we'll see
YouTube
it
now.
here. It's a start.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think once you kind of, because really when it comes down to like, people want to see you being active, you know, and once they see that, I think that's when it starts kind of, they want to put a face to the name of
Yeah.
blue collar, you know, and so being able to do that, I think is going to be a game changer. And then of course, you know, the pop ups, going out and actually talking to people.
Yeah, that's gonna be
know.
big, man.
Yeah, so I'm excited. It's slow, but I'm not really in a rush. You know, I got a lot of other things going on, but I'm happy where it's at.
Yeah, just let it happen organically
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
just stay persistent. That's what I do with this thing, man. Like, get people like you on. I hope this does help because I
Yeah.
mean, people actually get to know the real you.
Yeah,
We're
for
sitting
sure.
down just having a legit conversation. We're just
Yeah.
sitting here talking shit basically.
Yeah.
So, trying to find out all about your gear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just stay consistent with it, man, and that's what I'm doing. Don't look at the comments too much.
Oh,
You got those crazy people online that don't got nothing else better to do, so they're gonna talk shit. And
yeah. I had a guy comment on one of my posts, and he was like, AI slop, and he was like, what did he say? He was like, there's already Carhartt, and I was like, dude, I know there's Carhartt. Like, this says blue collar mentality. This isn't say I'm not trying to be like Carhartt.
yeah,
Like, this is just a movement for myself at this point. Either you want it or you don't.
yeah,
I don't care. But I just want it basically to motivate people. Just to, like, we're all in the same boat.
yeah, right.
We're all in the same boat. So.
Well, I think that because of like AI and everything else, and well, think about music. You got music that's just like, okay, this is the same crap. You know what I mean? It sounds the same. It's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. And people were looking for like, nah, we want something genuine. We want something that's real.
Oh yeah.
And I think more people are craving that stuff now. Especially, I mean, AI is like, man, if I see a video or something like that online, immediately, if I don't know that person, I'm like, this is AI.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell though.
It's so hard to tell these days because I'm just like, yeah, that's fake. That's AI. Some AI did this, and and until I actually meet that person, I'm like, yeah, that's it's just a fake person.
Yeah. I mean, I am guilty. I've definitely had some AI stuff, but just due to the fact that trying to find models, like at this point, I'm like, hey, I need 5 or 6 guys to meet this photographer. I got to pay out of the kindness of your heart. Can you just put on some shirts and let her take pictures? I got to pay her for the pictures or him or whoever it is. And then at that point in time, you might as well just get you might as well just buy a camera and just get shots of yourself.
Do it yourself.
So,
well, I know I'm not the best looking guy in the world, but if you ever need some help,
dude, you are good looking. There you go. It's the classic look. Now, I'm gonna take some shots. I'm gonna come in here, bring my camera. Actually,
that'll work.
Some pictures of you.
Let's do it. Yeah, for real.
I want everybody to understand that this is not just blue collar. Obviously, it does say blue collar mentality, but it's a mindset. So yeah.
I like that, man. No, that's really cool. So right now, what kind of gear you got? I see you got some hats. You brought me a hat. Thank you for this, by the way. I appreciate
I got some polos, some regular shirts. I'm trying to come up with some new style. I really like the retro stuff, so I'm really trying to. I'm in the works with some one of my good friends from Abilene. He does some designing.
Okay.
And so I've been getting with him, trying to get some new stuff, but I really want to focus on kind of just one. I don't want people to feel overwhelmed. You know, like I have a website. You go to bluecollarmentality.com and you can pull everything up. But I really want to just kind of keep it simple.
Yeah.
This doesn't have to be rocket science. Just get in there and see what you want and check out.
No, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah. I like the retro stuff too. Like, I always felt like I should have grew up in the 70s. Like
me too.
I always loved like dude, I mean wearing a concert shirt or a pearl snap.
Yeah.
Like and I've always liked like the bootcut jeans and the cowboy boots, and I wear these glasses and
play the part.
Yeah, I play the part a little bit.
There you go.
I wish my eyes were better because I have beautiful eyes, everybody. But lights mess with me because I have astigmatism in both eyes, and so it messes with me. So I wear these things. Kind of helps a lot.
Yeah.
But I look at a screen most of the day, so at work. But I like the retro stuff.
Yeah. No, I do too, for sure.
Like the
it's coming back though.
It is. It's all, and I think it has something to do with that, like that something's genuine about it.
Yeah. It really is. Kind of has its own little flavor.
All right. I mean, think of the cars that were like in the late 60s and the early 70s. Like, dude.
The music was the best.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The music.
Yeah, they don't have anything. Like, I wish they would come out with a new, like somebody would just start playing like Jimi Hendrix or
I
something.
know, like the rock and roll, like it's
Yeah.
not. I feel like it's kind of starting to come back
Yeah.
around. I mean, Texas is pretty cool too with the whole southern rock thing
Yeah.
that they're doing. You know, where it's not really country and
Mm-hmm.
it's not metal or
Mm-hmm.
anything. It's just like this cool rock and roll feel
Yeah.
that's super genuine. You know, people that
Yeah.
just grew up in the country and did all these
Yeah.
things, and that's what I love, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Love Texas music.
I'm a blues guy too, so
Oh yeah.
I love the blues. There's a bar in Austin. I don't know what it's called. I just know how to get there. And it's like in a little hole in the wall. And dude, like it's very, very old school. And it's nice, man. There's a guy, I think his name's Old Man Sam or something like that. But it's like the old school blues, dude.
That's what
You
I'm
walk in
talking
there,
about.
lights are real dim.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah, you
nice.
can't see nothing.
No.
Yeah.
You're just in there just tapping your foot, shaking your head, getting into it. That's
Oh,
what it's about.
I love that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Me and my wife love live music.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's one of our favorite things
Yeah.
to do is
Yeah.
go to concerts.
Yeah. I love concerts too, so. But
So so tell me about where you grew up. You grew up in Abilene, right?
yeah, so I grew up in Abilene. I graduated from Abilene High. And then I went to Angelo State on a scholarship for like a semester.
What was your scholarship?
Track. I ran track.
So would you run? Did you run like 100 or
Ran the 400, 800, and the mile.
Okay.
Yeah, but I decided I wanted to do the partying scene instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't last long, but it was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. At one point, I actually was fast. So you wouldn't believe it now. Yeah,
I never was fast.
yeah. I was pretty fast. When I was in middle school, I won the Junior Olympics.
Oh man,
Won a national championship. So,
dude, congratulations! That's freaking awesome. That's
Yeah.
nothing to frown upon. That's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, no, it is. It is for sure. I think that's why it was so hard once I kind of got out of college. I had to find myself again because I fully invested everything into track.
Yeah.
And so once I graduated and I went to college and that kind of didn't work out, I was like, a lot of the times, a lot of these kids, they spend their whole time in sports, and that's all that they're. I mean, dude, you got kids doing pee wee football now. You got kids doing select. It's crazy how much select.
Yeah,
Like,
seven
it's just
man
like,
and all. I mean, there's all sorts.
I mean, there's just so many avenues now for these kids to be great. Then you got the NIL deal now, where these kids are getting paid bukus of money, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like I talked to one of my buddy, Kevin Lucas. He was a receiver in Abilene, went to Tulsa, and he's a he's a coach for college. I think it's somewhere up north. But we were talking the other day. I called him, and he was like, "Yeah, man." So he does training and stuff, and he was training this kid, and as a receiver, he went to Oregon and signed an NIL deal with like $2 million. I think he was saying.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
he's like 18 years old, But back to what I was saying, it's like, your life is invested in this, and then once you get out and you don't go to college, and you got to go to the workforce, or you got to go to trade school, and I mean, I hate to say it, but going to lineman school was great. I went for a year for a technical school, and you got these kids going to college because it's all that they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And then, you get out and graduate and you still can't survive out here, So it's like,
With $100,000 of debt on top of your head.
or more than that,
Yeah, or more.
And it's just crazy, man. It's crazy because, being from that point where I had to relearn myself and find myself, it was hard, it was hard. But obviously, me being who I am, I always kind of want to be the best at whatever it is. So I went to lineman school at TSTC in Waco. Went there for a year. Got hired on with the company and did all my apprenticeship and everything, journeyed out. And then now I'm a crew supervisor. So I'm just pushing my own crew, So I've worked my way up. I worked my ass off to get to where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I take pride in where I'm at, but I'm happy that I finally found myself again as far as like where I need to be. Good company, good money. So that's nice, but
It's a lot of work though.
it is. It is a lot of work. Like
You guys do a lot of stuff. Well, you
Yeah.
work through a lot of like shitty situations
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah. It's just getting. I feel like it's actually getting more dangerous as the years go forward. Back in the day, you would hear probably accident stuff, and then at one point in time, there was a lot of experience. And then now the experience is leaving. Well, all these new guys that had that experience to look up to, now that that's gone, a lot of these guys don't know what to expect. It doesn't matter. I feel like whenever you run into a situation where, like, let's say, for instance, I've seen, hey, don't do this, or I've been in this scenario, and usually I'll tell my guys, like, hey, I've been there. I don't know everything, obviously. I'm still learning as everything goes
Oh
on.
yeah,
But
we're always.
yeah, and so, being in that spot, like, hey, don't do that. I've been there before, and so that's something that I can share. Well, if I never knew that, or because I came up with a lot of experience, man. Like, I think you had guys that were like journeymen for like 15 years, 20 years. And so they taught a lot to me. Well, those guys are gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so these younger guys don't have that to look up to besides the stories or the things that I went through.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm trying to pass that on.
Yeah, you're the experience.
Exactly. And that's only 7 years with the company.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of experience now,
I feel like with the workforce as a whole is like that. Like, even where I'm at, there's not many people that have been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
Most of the people have only been there a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Or you do have people that have been there like 30 years and they're on their way out. And there's not just that whole middle ground where, somebody's actually been there 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't exist.
No. It doesn't like that. It doesn't at all.
And it's weird.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it has a lot to do with, maybe companies not wanting to hire or, I don't know. But I will tell you, there's been more accidents this year than there has been any other year that I've been doing this trade. And so it's sad because it's young kids that are dying, straight out of these lineman schools. They want to come in and be like, oh, yeah, the money. Like, we're chasing the money. And the money's great. You're going to work your ass off for it. But
you can't be sloppy at the same time.
Yeah, but with all the safety measures that go on, still people are still getting hurt,
Well, so. I feel like, too, with the generation that is kind of coming up, it's a little different. They don't have experiences like we did.
Yeah.
I know you're actually 10 years younger than I am.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I feel like that whole thing, because the internet started replacing, like, actual experiences with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's kind of a part of it, And I'm not, I mean, the internet's the internet.
Yeah.
I love the internet. Don't get me wrong. It's not my life or anything, but I just feel like that whole thing of kids not going outside and not figuring things out and not building, forts in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Just doing all this stuff that, before, when we didn't have like internet, and you just had to, play with sticks and, pretend stuff and do this. And then, like I said, go out in the woods and build a fort and I mean, those experiences of growing up and actually learning all these different things, because I grew up every day I had to problem solve.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
Riding my bike from basically, dawn to dusk.
Yeah.
And it's like I had to figure stuff out, you know? Like,
no, I agree. I mean, I think I got a phone 8th grade or something like that, just so that I could text my dad. It was one of those flip phones, cheap ones.
Yeah.
Just to text him, hey, I'm back at the school. Come pick me up from, a track meet or football games or whatever. But there was no like internet. Like I just remember just texting or calling. There was no like getting on there and searching. I don't remember that. I remember my mom used to have a beeper, and it would go off. Like, she'd pile up all the kids, and we'd go to the payphone, and she'd be making calls. But yeah. It was fun growing up, man. I really enjoyed my life, I really enjoyed my life. There were some ups and downs, but it made me who I am.
Oh, for sure. I'm the same way.
But now kids nowadays, like my son, 3 years old, dude, he's freaking smart. Like I will say, the internet, it has its pros and cons.
Oh, for sure.
Because my son, like, dude, he can say his ABC. He's 3 years old, and he's like spelling his name and doing all this. He's just freaking smart, dude. And I would definitely say some of these stuff that they've came out for these kids have definitely excelled them.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? So it's nice. I mean, there's pros and cons, but there is the kids that, you know, you get on social media and you're like, man, I want to be like that, but they don't understand the work that goes into it,
Or if it's fake.
or if it's fake.
I mean, dude, there's companies out there now that's like, and they are selling them for like crazy amounts of money too. It's like they got like a private plane, and that's all they're doing all day long. There's just people lined up to go take pictures on this private plane so they
Really?
can post it on social media. Or you pay more for, you know, getting a
Yeah.
30-second clip or a minute and a half clip on this private plane, and it's fake.
Oh wow. I didn't know that.
Because they're all just trying to.
How much are they paying?
Right. It's like, geez. Now I just heard about these things. I'm like, that's so nuts. And like people, you know, they get the Lamborghinis and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, man, like $20 and you can go take your picture next to it. And they're posting like it's theirs, you know, but.
And then you roll up and the Honda Civic or something.
Yeah, right.
Where's your car at?
It's like the whole fake it till you make it thing, you know, is going on. And just people don't realize that, like, okay, that's not real life.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, it's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
It just depends on how you look at it. I think we're still as a society learning how to maneuver through social media.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I know with all the AI stuff, it is getting dangerous. I mean, there's some stuff that they post, and I'm like, man, this can't be real. Is it real or is it fake? Or like you got yourself questioning.
yeah, right,
you know?
for real.
And so
I question everything anyway. So.
I know, me too. My brain doesn't stop moving.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop. Yeah. But
Nah, man, that's cool, dude. Trying to think. So you said you got some polos, some hats, some stickers and stuff like that. I was trying to think of what else I could hit on real quick. So tell me about your car. You talked about this car. I want to hear about this car.
so I bought my car from my dad. He's a piece of crap, dude.
What is it?
68 Nova.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm sure anybody who's possibly going to view this is going to be like, oh my God, here we go again. He's talking about his car.
That's all right.
3 years, dude, it's been going on. But we'll get there eventually. Maybe, fingers crossed, by June 1st. Maybe. He said he's going to have it done. But anyways, so yeah, I got this car. And you know, when I got this car, obviously, like, I'm not a professional. I'm not a mechanic. I can change the brakes, you know, change the oil, do the stuff.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and sand this car down. I tried. And let me tell you something. Sanding a car and doing body work, it's no joke. Like, that's a hard blue-collar mentality job. You know? Like, it is. It's rough. So I tried to find me a mechanic and found a couple of guys, and they did good work, you know. And then I found another guy. He did really good work. He did, you know, he did as far as like paint, body, and all the fancy stuff. It was really nice. But I think because I went out and bought it. I drove it with a 350 in it. So it started knocking. I was like, man, dude, like, I need to get something better. Like, I want to hop into it and go wherever I want to go. Mm-hmm. So I decided I wanted to go buy an LS motor from Texas Speed. And the LS motor with transmission is like a whole package, like $32,000.
Oh my God.
So I wound up buying it and putting it in, but it was just so much for this guy. I think it was just overwhelming. You know, there's just so much going on. So I wound up taking it, and now it's at a shop, and they build cars for Barrett Jackson and stuff, and basically take them up there and sell them. They're expensive, but they do a pretty good job. So they're knocking it out. But yeah, it's just been a process, man. It's been hard trying to sit there and be motivated with this car because it's just like one thing after another. Oh yeah, you have to buy this, or you have to buy that. So
you're doing like a full resto model too,
yeah.
and so it's going to be like a newer car, but the old car.
Oh yeah, I think I have. I don't know. I think it's about 100, probably more than 150,000 in it. But
you just tell your wife it's 150.
Yeah, I just tell her it's 150.
I always tell my
I
wife.
think anything past 100 is just we'll just say 100. You know, like that's just too much. You know, but,
I hear you. I was up there with my wife. I was like, I have a feeling one of these days I'm gonna die, and you're gonna sell all my guns for what I told you I paid for them.
yeah. The thing about getting into a classic car that I realized because I had one before, I built one,
What'd you have?
another Nova.
Another Nova.
Yeah, but at that time I wasn't really fully invested, so I just kind of spent a little money here and there, and then wound up selling it. And well, went full force into this one. I mean, I'm talking about straight dive, but it was not like the deep end. You know, it's like shallow. Like it says, don't dive. Well, I took the dive anyways into this car, and yeah, it. I would recommend if you're planning on getting into a classic car, maybe getting one almost complete, because
starting, yeah.
whatever you think that it's going to cost to build a car, you can just go ahead and double that. So if you're like $50,000, I got 50. Like we're going to be fine. No.
Yeah, it's gonna be more.
Yeah.
Oh, and the time. The time.
Yeah. I mean, you have to think about it. Like, you go to Summit and you buy parts, all right? So let's say brakes, I don't know, were $2 or $3. I don't even know if that's right. But now it's like double. So everything's double. Every part for the car is doubled, literally. So it's not I mean, it's more expensive now than it was back in the day to build a car.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, so.
Well, probably that car was like, you know,
Yeah,
$6,000, $6,500.
Yeah,
You know, when it was made.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I'm sure it was probably $6,500.
That's kind of crazy
Back
when
in
you
the
think
day.
about it. You're like,
1968.
holy shit! Like,
Yeah.
you could have two of those in a house and on one salary back then.
Oh yeah. I was talking to one of my buddies, and he was like, "Dude, do you know that like back then it was actually like your money was more of value than it is now? So you could actually buy all this stuff and still live comfortable. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Now it's like you can't do all that. You don't make enough. People in Texas don't. They do not get paid enough for the prices and all this inflation that's going on in Texas. Like my buddy's from California, and he was literally like, dude, I moved down here trying to start, and he's a lineman as well. He's like, dude, I mean, obviously I know everybody from Texas, and like, we'll go back to California, but he's like, dude, Texas sucks. Like, it's a great state, it's a great place to be, but y'all don't get paid nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have a house that, $600,000 and they're $5,500, $5,000 a month. Like,
It's
nobody
stupid.
makes enough money for all that, So
It's stupid.
it's just crazy. But so basically going back to all that, that's the reason why I really am excited to kind of get this brand going, is because, of all the struggles, everything that's going on, blue collar mentality, I feel like just fits into that. It's a freaking grit, dude, like get up every day, sacrifice, come home. Sometimes you're not going to, like, there's times where I know there's other people out there that are dealing with the same thing I'm doing, where you don't even see your family, or you're working 2 jobs, you're trying to survive, like, that's a mentality that a lot of people don't have, and you have to do it because you're a provider. Like, what do you want to do? End up on the street?
Right.
Like, it's hard. It's hard for everybody, and that's the reason why I like my prices on my apparel. I'm not trying to get rich off of it, man. I'm just trying to get it out there. I want to be able to kind of get that mentality out there. But I mean, you got people. I think there's like melon hats or whatever, $100 a hat. I'm like, come on, man. $100
Do you remember
a hat.
like the?
I mean, the hat you're wearing, it's nice,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I think it's like $28, like,
That's nice.
it's not bad.
Do you remember like the Von Dutch shit
Yes.
back in the day?
I'm just saying, it's stupid.
Go in there and pay like $200 for a hat or a button, or $100 for a T-shirt.
I mean, people will buy it, especially hats. People love that stuff. Like, there's some hats out there that people are like, oh yeah, but this one, it's air drying and this and that, which I get it. But I'm not going to spend $100 on a hat.
Nah.
So I would think that somebody else is not. If you come from the same financial, situation, I'm not going to spend $100 on a hat.
I spend like this is a concert hat.
Yeah.
$50.
There you
Then
go.
to me, it's like, all right, yeah. And I'm like, it's expensive, but it's,
but that's different.
It's supporting
Yeah.
his music.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I
that's,
get it.
That's why I buy like, that's
Yeah.
the kind of stuff that I buy. I buy T-shirts like that too. So I usually either am like buying concert shirts or I support veterans a lot, like
Yeah.
veteran businesses. Like I got a lot of grunt style shirts and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to represent that
Yeah.
I'm a veteran or anything. It's literally just because
Yeah.
they're like, hey, they sacrificed a whole lot. So if I can
Yeah.
find a business that like has a cool shirt or whatever, I'm
Oh, yeah.
definitely gonna, I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy it and try to support
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. I mean, because I could care less, dude. I mean, most of my shirts and stuff like that I buy from like Walmart, like my Pearl Snaps and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Like I could care less.
I think I have probably the same clothes I've had for probably, I don't know, 3-4 years. Like, I just don't care to.
Man, I got
So
two.
I get it. Like, I think one of the things about the apparel thing is, you know, like you asked, why do you want to do that? I get it. Like, a lot of guys probably, they probably have more hats than they do have shirts.
Right, yeah.
And so, I understand. And so that's the reason why I'm trying to come out with more hats. Everybody wants to wear a hat,
Yeah.
but
Well, we don't have to think about
you
our
don't
hair
have
too
yeah.
much.
And you don't have to wash it every,
Yeah, that's right.
every time you wear it. So that's nice. So, but yeah.
No, that's cool though, dude.
Yeah.
It's a good thought. I like it.
Yeah.
I really like it. You're putting stuff out there that's cool and it's decently priced,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still, it's gonna help your kid, go, do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, help put a little food on the table for you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, eventually. Anyway,
Yeah,
man.
and eventually. I mean, like I said, man, I'm not getting rich by any means on it, but it's just fun. Nice little hobby.
Yeah. Do you do any
But-
of your own designing and stuff?
Yeah, I do. I do all of it. I paid some guy, like I said, the guy in Abilene, one of my guys, Andrews. He's a designer, so he's working on some stuff for me. So that'll be nice to have that come in. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, just coming even and just putting it back into the communities,
Right.
Whatever. Just having the opportunity to kind of put blue collar mentality out there, and kind of just let everybody know, hey, we're all together in this.
Yeah, for sure, right?
That's really what I'm not, even I make $500 a month, whatever. I got a job. I got a career. I love my career, so it's just fun.
Oh man, that's awesome. And then, you talk about like doing those pop-ups and getting out there
Yeah.
in the community and meeting more people. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I kind of did this too. I get to meet people. I love talking to people. There's some times where I'm like, man, I gotta go do a podcast. I'll be tired or something. And then I get up here and I meet the person and I'm like, I get home, I'm like, it was like the best conversation. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I get so hyped.
Yeah.
And that's when you're doing something good.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? When you just can't put it down because you love it too much.
Well, that's how my wife is. She's like, you talk to everybody. I'm like, well, you never know who you might meet.
That's true.
You might. There's a lot of people out there that you would never know who they are if you didn't ever have a conversation with them.
For real.
I've met a lot of good friends. Like I'm stuck at golf, but I'll go to the golf. I'll go to Southern Oaks or I'll go to Austin and play golf down there. And dude, I've met so many cool people.
Oh,
People
yeah.
that are probably like millionaires, and they're just shooting the shit with me, and I'm tattoos. I don't look the part by any means, but I'm out there just having fun, shanking the ball.
Yeah, dude, I suck at golf.
I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I promise I won't hit another ball.
I probably haven't hit it like a golf ball at a golf course in like 10 years.
Yeah.
It's I mean, like you try
frustrating.
to go and it's like
Yeah.
I'm pretty bad.
Yeah, it is it's a frustrating sport for sure.
I could just feel like if you got to get like you have to do it so much to get really good
yeah.
at it.
Yeah. It's one of those sports that you have to start, I mean, at a young age and just work, because it's just like, I mean, literally, there's so much detail into that sport, like, I mean, like I said, I'm not a professional, but from the way that people talk about it, your swing, your stance, your hands, this, that, how to, the stancing before you hit the ball. I'm like, dude, getting on the green, you're like, oh yeah, they'll pick up the grass or they'll do this, or like, yeah, the greens are a little hairy, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah, they know all that stuff.
Yeah,
They know the slopes.
I'm
They
just
know
trying to
this.
get it in there.
Yeah, dude, I'm just knocking the shit out of the ball. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what is it when you call it where whoever hits the ball the farthest, you all just kind of drop out there?
I think it's like a scramble.
A scramble?
Yeah.
I'm like, we play like that because I want to hit it like way over there.
Yeah, that's basically how me and my friends play. Because majority of the time they're not going to be on the fairway. They're going to be like in the woods. So
Right.
just buy a big old box from Academy for like, you know, I don't even know, it was like $10 or something, maybe 16. It's probably gone up. You know,
Yeah.
maybe it's $30
I was
now.
gonna say it's probably like $50 now.
And you just lose them.
Dude, the last time I went golfing, I took like 12 balls,
Yeah.
and after the 12th hole, I was like, I'm out, dude. Like
Yeah.
I lost the ball. Like
Oh
I don't
yeah.
have any more.
That's why you got to drive and like pick stuff up. You know,
Yeah.
you got to stay on the lookout when you start
I
at
did
golf.
pick some up, and I
Yeah.
still ran out of balls. I was like, I just suck so bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, at that point, I was like, nah, I'm just here for the booze and the cigar. Like, I'm gonna finish this sucker out.
Heck yeah. Now, if I start drinking on the golf course, dude, I'm like, I suck. But when you start drinking, I'm, yeah, it goes downhill fast.
Oh
Real
yeah,
fast.
I couldn't even imagine now.
Yeah. At that point, now you're just there just to be there, just having a good time, you know.
Yeah, for sure. The camaraderie.
Yeah. But
Nah, for real, that's fun, man.
yeah.
I'm trying to think here. I had some other questions and I forgot what I was gonna ask you. Like you were talking, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna save that. The talking, I forget. So let's hear about your family, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how long you been married?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
All right, just getting into it.
Getting into it. Yeah. We have a 3-year-old and we just had a baby girl.
Oh, congratulations.
1 month old. Yeah. It's awesome. We're excited, man. It's awesome, man. Kids are great. And kids are funny too, dude.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I love, like my son, he'll follow me, do everything, you know. And I'm not a big, like, I don't think I'm a strict dad, you know. I just tell him how it is, you know, like,
Yeah.
hey, dude, like, talk to you like a little grown man, you know. So I'll just be telling him, like, hey, dude, like, we don't need to do this because of this. And he's like, oh, why? You know, then he starts, so he's 3 years old, but he does all these, like, he tries to, like, really, like, finesse the situation. So, like, the other day, or actually before I came up here, he wants to go to the pool, and I'm like, yeah, we'll go to the pool later, you know. And he's like, okay. And I was like, hey, listen, we're not going to talk about the pool. We just need to take a nap. And he's like, okay, you know, we'll take a nap. And he said, well, what if I do like a thumbs down? Or he did like, what if I do this? Like, are we going to the pool or are we not? So he wanted to like use his thumbs as like, are we going
Oh,
or
yeah.
not going? I was like, oh, hey, dude, like, you're freaking smart, you know.
That is pretty smart,
He's
actually.
smart.
Finding his way around it.
Or like the other day we were talking and he's like, Dad. I'm like, I'm not your dad. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, he said something that was hilarious. He was like, he just kind of started doing something else. And then, of course, you know, Dad. And I was like, yes, what's up? He's like, see, you are my dad. I was like, got me, dude. Got me.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, as a parent, you know, whenever my mom would be like, golly, stop saying mom, I'm like, I didn't, you know, you don't understand.
Oh, yeah, I
And then
remember
now
that.
as a parent, you're like,
Yeah, I totally get that.
Dad, mom. Like,
Did you ever watch Star Wars?
no, I wasn't really big. Star
Anyway,
Wars.
there's a point where like Yoda just dies because of Luke Skywalker asking him so many questions, and I was like, "Yeah, they're coming to me." I just stepped at him like, "Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
That tracks." It just
Yeah.
I died from being asked too many questions.
I do. He asked me questions. I'm like, man, I really, like, it's crazy because you have like if I really wanted to, you know, as a parent, when you really start thinking about it, like, you can tell your kids like, you know, a circle's a square, and you can really mess them up. Like
Oh, yeah.
you are literally teaching these kids. They follow, like, he follows me everywhere. You know, like I'll go brush my teeth. Next thing you know, he's over there brushing his teeth. He's just like follows me everywhere. So that's when it really started kind of clicking. I was like, you know what? I really got to be a better person
Yeah.
in general. You know, like just because he is like following every single thing that you do. And so the way you talk, the way you act, you know, if you're going to be lazy, you know, like everything, he's just following everything. So he goes to the gym with me. I take him to the gym. So he'll sit like kind of to the side and he'll get up, kind of walk around to where I'm at every now and then. But, you know, I'm trying to really just introduce everything. You know, I don't want to be like a parent that's just like, this is what you need to do, you know, like put them in all this stuff and select. Because I feel like you got a lot of parents out there that are, you know, they really live their lives through their kids, you know, and it's sad to see. But I got burnt out and I was a very good athlete. And I just got burnt out because of the constant. Just I feel like it was, I wouldn't say that my dad was kind of living his life through me, but I know he wanted better for me. Now that I see that now, but in that moment, you're like, man, like I'm so tired of this crap, dude.
Yeah.
And these kids are starting at 3 or 4 years old, already getting into freaking select stuff. Like, I mean, my son, he just started t-ball, and the coach was like, yeah, he's good for t-ball, next year. So I'm okay, like we'll do that. And then once you go from t-ball, like I don't even know. I'm new to all of that. I don't even know if there's like a select t-ball or not. But the point is, they're starting very young with select. And I work with a guy. His son was in all the select stuff. Spent all this money on select baseball. He went to college for a semester, I think, or a year, whatever it was. Played 1 year, and it's like, hey, Dad, I quit. I don't want to play no more. So you spend all this money to get your kids to that point, and then they just like up and quit, And I mean, it's just exhausting. Like I don't think that life does not need to be revolved around just sports. Like you can't do that.
Well,
It keeps them out of trouble, obviously. Like, I get it. You need to have them involved.
have them do something.
They need to do something.
Right.
But
especially if it teaches some kind of discipline.
Yes, 100%.
And all that. But I think a good lesson, and I'm just learning this, coming into my late 30s and early 40s, is when you love something, and that's what you want to do. Don't chase the dollar bills.
Yeah.
Chase the process and chase. I'll do this for free.
Yeah.
Because if you'll do something for free and give it away, I mean, most of the time they tell people, like if you want to be like a musician, or a stand-up comedian, like, bro, 10 or 15 years, you're working for free.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
just to barely get by and scrape by on what you can do to be able to like go to the next town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That go somewhere because they're like, man, I'm willing to give it away for free and for that long. Because could you imagine that if somebody was like, hey, that's cool, yeah, come work for me, but you're barely just gonna kind of scrape by until like 15 years down the road, then maybe you don't even know.
Well, my brother, he dipped his feet into like the music scene. He played a guitar, tried to do the scene. I mean, he wasn't bad, but he put a lot of work into it. And just kind of hearing stories that he's kind of met people, and they don't make money.
No.
You're not making any money, but the work that goes into it, because majority of people, they have like a side job, obviously, but you have to put just as much into your real job into your music or whatever you're doing. And I was like, man, dude, like that's difficult, So I have a lot of respect for people who are in the music industry for sure, man. Because when you really like get in depth into it, it's a lot of work. It's a lot. It's a lot of time. Your personal time.
And then you got all the vampires too that are just trying to suck money out of you for nothing.
Yep.
I mean, that's also a big thing.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like how it is with this. Hey, can you give me a shirt? Can you give me this? Can you give me that? And I'm like, dude, like, I'm really not trying to be like,
Yeah, you're not a charity.
I'm not. Yeah, but I'm paying for everything. Like I'm paying out of my own pocket for all of this stuff. And so like, yes, I don't mind giving stickers and, koozies and stuff like that. But like,
to help get the brand out there. But now you want like a $50 shirt.
Like it, people just don't understand. They don't understand the process that goes into that, but yeah.
And finding out that you got to love the process.
Yes.
Like you can't love the outcome.
Yeah.
Because if you just want the outcome, it's never going to be good enough, to be honest. Yeah. You got to love that whole, that little bit, that process, that work, everything. Like, when I started working out and stuff like that, and like when I wanted to lose weight, it was like, all right, I gotta, I'm not looking at the outcome. And honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm never going to look good enough that I really want to look. But it's just like getting in there and getting that shit done. And then you're like, walk out.
Good,
you just walk out like, I feel like a beast right now.
But a lot of the people, whether it doesn't matter what it is, nobody wants to do something unless they see progress. Like, That's why a lot of people quit the gym because they don't see progress really fast. But it takes time. It takes time for everything you do, you know. But I mean, that's why there's so many, you know, Ozempic and Retta and you know all of these peptides that are just coming out, and people want fast gains fast, which I understand. And there's some of them like peptides I'm sure out there that really help you out, you know. But in my opinion, a lot of people will quit because they don't see the progress. So it's hard to stay motivated with that. And that's the reason why I kind of really want to, you know, reverse psychology type deal with my son, because I know what it's like to fully invest into one track. Like I literally put all my eggs in a basket with track. Literally, a junior Olympic champion, national champion. I was running a 425 in the mile, 154 in the 800,
Lord, 425.
47 in the 400. But I do like when my friends would party and everything. My dad would be like, "No, you're not partying." So what I do, I just take off running. So I just would just run,
Yeah.
and that was my like getaway. So by the time I went to college and I had the freedom, I was like, "No, I'm not doing this. Like, screw this. I'm not gonna go." And in college at the time, they sent me a workout regimen prior to going to college, and it was like 100 miles a week. I was like, I'm not running 100 miles a week. Who do you think I am? I'm a marathon runner? Like, no, I don't even I don't even want to run the mile. But I was just good at it, so I did it. But you know, I really want to use the reverse psychology with my son, and like whatever he decides he wants to do, whether it's golf, football, whatever it is. But I also kind of got like a little dirt bike. You know, I want to get his mind off of the sports. I don't want it to be just sports. I want it to be something different. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, at least you have other experiences.
Yeah, correct.
Besides just putting all your work into sports, you know? And then when you get to my point, or, you know, where I'm at in my life, you know, you got to experience a lot of stuff. You know, I didn't get a dirt bike when I was young. I didn't get anything. We grew up pretty poor. So for us, I got to see all of my friends, you know, enjoy all this stuff. I had to work for everything I got now, you know. But I really want to try my best. Not saying I'm perfect, but not to give my kid everything. You know, obviously, being a dad, you want to give your kid everything that you never had, you know.
Yeah, you want to see that excitement, that fire in their eyes that you used to have, you know.
Yes. So I'm still working on that, you know, but we'll get there. But yes, he does kind of have like a little 50. He can't even drive it. I just get on it with him.
That's hilarious.
But he loves it, dude. He loves it. And so, but he also loves baseball. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, hey, you know, you want to ride your dirt bike or whatever? And so we'll get on it and ride. And it just kind of distracts him from all the other stuff.
Yeah. So, well, just like when you're at your job and you need a vacation every now and then. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
A couple times a year, we got to get away and be like, you know, I could take like a week or 2 weeks off. And it's like almost after that, you know, about midway or the beginning of that second week, I'm like, I'm kind of ready to go back.
Yeah.
You know, to work.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got 2 weeks off for my daughter being born. The last week, I was like, antsy. Like,
and
I was like, I'm ready to go back to work.
I always hate it because I feel like I'm always an idiot when it comes to this. Like I'll get a vacation and like I just schedule it for a week and then I'm gone somewhere for a week and then you come home and it's like you have one day to relax and then you got to go right back to work and I'm like, I should have took 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
I should have did the whole 2 week thing.
Oh yeah.
Went somewhere and then got some stuff done around the house. You know what I mean? So
well, if you're off too long, you'll start spending money.
That's true too.
And then you're like, oh shit, now I'm getting into my money. I don't need to spend all this money.
I don't know, man. My wife gets like 5 or 6 Amazon boxes a day at the house. I'm like, where do you get all the money for this? Where is this coming from?
Have you shopped on Amazon lately? I don't shop on Amazon, but
that's where most of the shit came from.
Yeah. So I went on Amazon because I was looking for a gimbal for my camera, and I was just on there, and next thing you know, dude, I like bought like 3 or 4 products like that. It was just like Amazon. I guess my wife has the Amazon Prime, so it's like late night shipping. And I was like, this is addicting. Like you can actually get addicted to Amazon.
And it shows up like 6 hours later at your house when you buy it. You're like, oh my God.
Oh wow, I don't have to go to the store. Cool. Let's just keep buying stuff. Next thing you know, you got 4 or 5 packages. Yeah, I get now why people want to do all that.
Well, for sure. And now, like, you know, I'm buying this stuff. It's like, hey, this microphone you looked at's on sale
Yeah.
and flash sale. You only got like, 3 hours to buy it.
Oh, they do that?
Oh, dude, I get things
Oh,
all the
wow.
time that just pop up on my phone.
Yeah, I don't. I must not be on it that much for them to do that. Not yet, anyways.
Yeah, I'm on it all the time because it's like,
Yeah.
well, again, I'm a nerd, but here's the thing too. I might look at something for 6 months before I pull the trigger and buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm reading the reviews.
So, like, let's think about that. So
Yeah.
you said you may look at it for 6 months before you buy it. So now, from your perspective, now I have to look at my apparel because I have Shopify, right?
Yeah.
And I get like 8,000 people that will be on my website. So I'm like, man, I really want to convert all of these into sales because you really think about one T-shirt, 8,000 people. You're looking at some good money. Well, that's where I'm trying to really turn everything over, is trying to get the people that come to buy something. So that's where I'm really trying to focus right now. I'm trying to focus to turn every session into a sale. But like you just said, you get on there and then you're like, oh yeah, like I kind of want that. So that's the reason why, like, when you go on my website, there's not a lot of colors. I did do a lot of colors at first, and then I talked to this business guy who does, like, I guess he kind of like looks at your website and stuff, and we had a meeting and a phone call, and he was looking at my website. He's like, yeah, first of all, dude, you need to take away all of these colors. And I was like, oh, well, I kind of like that, like options. He's like, yeah, but you have to think, when people go onto your website,
Too overwhelmed.
it's overwhelmed. Like, oh, white, black, teal, blue, purple. I don't know and then they leave. So he's like, just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Keep it just a simple website, and then this is what we offer, and then that's it. So I've slowly kind of dwindled down on some colors, which there's some colors I still wanted to keep, but I try not to make it so overwhelming.
Yeah.
So when you go onto the website, you're like, okay, yeah, I like to wear black. So I like a neutral color, I don't like all the fancy colors because I feel like you can't match it with anything.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Everything's black and gray and
white or something.
Yeah.
But there's just so many different things that you have to think about when you're trying to sell merchandise like that, apparel, because, like, I mean, what do you think when you go on? If you were to pull up my website right now and you're like looking, you're like, man, like, I really like this, and you look at that and you're like, well, I'll get something next week, or when I get paid.
Yeah.
And then you lose that person. So I've been really trying to get that hook to bring people in.
Yeah. Hey, give me just a second. I gotta pee, dude. But anyway, so back where you were talking about with your website. So maybe if you kind of did like a thing like, hey, I noticed you put some stuff in your cart.
Yeah.
And like, throw out there like 10% off.
Yeah, so I do that. And then I got affiliates, like there's an affiliate program. If you were decided to sign up to the affiliate program, you can get on there, and whoever buys stuff from you gets 10%. Then you get 10% back of the sales that you make. So if you know a lot of people that would be interested in buying it, that'd be something that
that's cool.
they could do. It kind of make you. It depends on how many people you sell to, but it gives you a little money too. You know, so it's an opportunity to. This isn't a pyramid type deal, but it's just each individual person gets to get 10% of the sales that they make off of their affiliate or off of their sales.
That's a great idea, though.
Yeah, so it's nice. I mean, I've had a guy that, dude, he sold like $500 worth of stuff. I gave him his money.
That's cool, though. That's super cool.
Yeah, he's my number one supporter, I would say.
There you go.
He's cool, dude. And I didn't even know him. He just reached out to me and just started having a conversation. Next thing you know, we're like best friends. Like, we grew up around the block, so it's pretty neat.
That is awesome. Having support, like,
but it's the people that don't know you or the people that support you the most.
Yeah.
The people that know you, they just want everything for free. Now, I'm not saying that they won't support you.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, a lot of people that know you are going to be the ones that kind of like, hey, can I get something for free?
Yeah, can I get something for free? And
then you feel bad. You're like, I'll throw you some stickers or something, a couple hats.
Yeah,
but you have to post. Like,
yeah.
You can't just get something and then not post it or, wear it. Like, if you buy a shirt from me, or if I give you a shirt, like, you better wear that like 4 or 5 times before you wash it. I'm just kidding.
No, it's funny, man. Yeah, just with this whole thing, when I started it, like, just people know my personality. We're like, oh, you're gonna be so great at that, and I'm like, I doubt it, and I still don't feel like it's great. People are like, nah, you do a great job, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I constantly feel like I can do better at everything that I do, and like I never really thought about it before. Like, but I can have a conversation with literally anybody, and now I'm just recording it, and then I have to listen to it so I can edit, you know, and make sure everything sounds good and this and that. And I'm like, God, you sound like such an idiot, like constantly.
No,
You know
dude,
what I
you
mean?
sound this is good. This is fun. I've enjoyed it so far. You know, I've always wanted to kind of do a podcast. I just never really fully invested myself into it. I
Yeah.
wanted to kind of talk more along the lines, kind of like what we hit earlier about like depression and stuff from
Yeah.
like younger guys and athletes, and bring athletes in and kind of hear their story of where they come from and how they made it out. You know, a lot of people don't make it out in that industry as far as like being an athlete. You know, they
Oh,
just
for
go straight
sure.
to work. And there's people that were athletes and they're not doing anything.
I know.
But they still live in the past.
Yeah.
And I don't want to live in the past. I use my story as a testimony that
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm a real big believer in trying to, speak it into existence. Like dream it. I promise you, you'll get there. It may take some time, but and that's the reason why I use the gym so much and working out.
Yeah.
Is because, like, let's say you go in there and you're working out, okay, and you're doing 20 push-ups, and you're like, man, like 20's hard, and you're like, hey, you got 5 more, and you hit 5. I'm like, hey, you got 5 more. Like, come on, let's go. You've already crossed that hurdle of like, okay, I'm about to quit. So you're past that at that point. Now you're just building character. Like you are building you.
100%.
It's past the 20 that you're building yourself. But people don't get into detail with that.
I know. It's
like
you against yourself.
Exactly. So like when you get up every morning, you go work out. And you obviously, I get up at 4 o'clock every morning to go work out.
Kudos to you, man.
It's miserable, but I also want to spend time in the evenings with my kids.
Yeah.
Which when I get home, I'm like, oh, I'm hanging on, blah blah. Like,
I'm a lunchtime guy.
yeah,
I can't do anything early in the morning.
Yeah.
I hurt. I'm stiff.
Yeah,
It
hard.
takes me till about lunch to get all lubricated to where I can actually go and do something.
I'll ask some of the guys at work, like, hey, can I work out? Yeah, I'll be at the gym around 4:30 or so. Oh, dude, I can't. I've had a couple of guys go and they last a week and they're like, no, dude, I can't do that, man. Like, I'm just miserable. I'm like, oh, I understand. But, when you really, like, because working out really helps me,
Me
mentally.
too.
Like, it helps me in my everyday, just in general life. But like I said, when you're using those workouts, it's going to make you a better person, period. It's the little things like that, the detailed stuff that's going to make you better. And so that's what I really try to help other people with.
Yeah. It's I try to do the same thing. I just try to tell everybody, like, hey, man, like, no matter what you're doing, it's consistency over intensity. Like, you don't have to go balls to the wall, every single time. Go balls to the wall when you feel like going balls to the wall. But, man, if you're tired and you're hurting, just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up, get some things done, get on the treadmill for a minute. And if that's all you do is get on the treadmill and go for a little bit of a jog, hey, it's still a win because you showed up and you did something.
Exactly.
And don't harp on yourself for that because you're still going to see, and it doesn't, I'm sorry, man, these people that think that they can work out for 1 month and see some results, like you don't really start seeing it till
at least a year.
Well, I mean, for real, you could probably start to see some results after like month 3 or so, and you're like, oh man, like there's that little tricep that's popping, and like I said, it's not big, but it's something little. And, I would tell people, like, do measurements, like, measure your ankles, measure your wrists, measure your forearms, measure your biceps, measure your legs, measure your calves.
Just don't get on the weight. Don't get on the scale.
Yeah. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. The scale is it's going to
come off.
Yeah. And then you might actually gain more weight because now you're putting on more muscle. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm gaining more weight. Like, I'm not. There's a process to it. Like Brittany, she was my trainer at one point. I really wanted to kind of go, dive into the bodybuilding thing. And I was just honest with her. I was like, hey, like, I freaking love your training. I love that you are so personal. Like, she's one-on-one. She will communicate with you. But I have to be honest with myself, and I'm trying not to make excuses about it, but I really am not going to be able to fully invest into this.
Yeah.
And so she understood, but like doing that style or that lifestyle of bodybuilding, managing macros and doing all this, dude, that is exhausting. Like you have to be extremely self-motivated to do that.
100%, dude.
I am not 100% motivated for that. Like I got way too like if I want a chicken fried steak, dude, I'm going to have a chicken fried steak. You know, if I want to have a couple beers hanging out with my friends or whatever, you know, like life's too short for all that.
And that's kind of where I'm at now. You know, I'm enjoying things like I know I do better on keto, and I've been telling my wife, I was like,
Yeah.
I wish we would go back on keto because, like, man, my brain fires off so much better.
Yeah.
I have way more energy.
Mm-hmm.
My cholesterol, dude, I'm eating nothing but like red meat and eggs, and I'm eating all the cholesterol.
You do your blood work and everything.
Yeah, and it drops.
Yeah.
Dude, like when I eat carbs, my cholesterol goes
Yeah.
to like 200-300.
Yeah.
But when I'll be like, man, let me do like a month on keto, and it'll just bloop, it'll plummet. It's crazy. It's just my body and
Yeah.
how it works. But yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of at that point where I'm like, I want to enjoy things a little bit more, and that's fine. Maybe I got to go run a mile or two extra just because I had a couple extra beers or whatever, or a bad meal. But that's again, that's where it comes with that consistency over that intensity part.
Yep.
Even starting this thing, I just told myself at the very beginning, like I want to do like 1 or 2 of these a week. And then my second weekend, I did 4 in 1 week. But we had the mayor race going on, and there was a council race. And so I invited everybody, by the way, like every candidate. I reached out to every candidate and gave them an opportunity to come on here. Only a few of them did. And that's fine. I know that my integrity is out there. I was trying not to be biased on who I was, going with until after I got everybody on, before I stated my own opinion of who I think, needs to go be there or whatever. But I was exhausted.
Oh,
I mean, you don't think about it just coming up here and having a conversation, but it's
mentally
the come
exhausted,
down.
I'm sure.
Well, it's the come down afterwards. I get excited, and I get home. I'll tell my wife about it.
Yeah.
And and so next thing you know, it's like, oh crap, it's 11 o'clock, and I got to get up at 5 to get ready to go work, and did that, pretty much 4 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I was exhausted, but I mean, and then 2 weeks went by, I couldn't get nobody on.
Oh yeah.
Like nobody wanted to come on.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back. Lots of people wanted to come on. I just couldn't get dates locked down.
Oh, I gotcha.
They'd be like, yeah, let me get back to you. I hit my schedule up, and I hit them back up like a couple days later and be like, yo, what you got? And they're like, oh, let me take another look. Sorry, I got busy.
Yeah, I was gonna go out of town this weekend. I was like, no, I'm not. We're gonna stay. Keep my word on this. Yeah, 100%, dude. It's hard to get. I mean, honestly, it just comes down to just do it.
Yep.
Just once you say you're gonna do it, just lock in the day and do it. And that is something that you run in everywhere.
Oh,
even
yeah.
in the workforce. You got guys that are like, like they want to maybe be a lineman. And next thing you know, they're like, they get into it and they're like, no, I don't know if this is something I really want to do, But the cool thing about it is that when you go to like these trade schools, like if you go to lineman school, they put you in some scenario. That's just not the dangerous parts. And that's the part that kind of like would scare people. Because when you go to these trainings,
I see what you're saying,
you're still doing everything. Well, not everything, but you get the gist of it. And then when you go on to like wherever you're going, that's where you really get thrown out there and you're like, oh, this is what it is. And then you see your first flash and you're like, holy shit, like that can actually really kill me, and that's whenever I'm sure a lot of people are kind of like, and not just that, but being in a lineman trade right now, it's hard to get on. Like it is hard. Like, it's not hard, like physically hard. It's just nobody's hiring. Like it's hard to get on anywhere. And so I know my brother, he graduated. He was in the Army for 7 years and went to lineman school, and he was having a hard time trying to get on.
Really?
Yeah.
I find that surprising just because you hear a lot of people like get into the trade and then get out.
Yeah.
Because of like you were talking about, they see something or something happens, and they're like, nah, I just.
Yeah. I mean, you see stuff all the time. Hey, I'm looking for this job, or I'm looking for that, or I just graduated from NLC and I'm trying to get on. Where do I go? And a lot of these schools will try to get you like when you graduate. But if you graduate from that school and you don't go straight to a workforce or a company or something, you're out there in the real world now with contractors and trying to do the union route. And that is hard because I've never done it, obviously, but from what I've heard and what I've learned, is it's a different animal out there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, being on the utility side is different. But I mean, people get in, they drag up, they get in, they drag up. And it's like I said, I'm not a professional when it comes to all of that stuff, but there's like the union, and then there's just contractors and, you know, utilities and co-ops. There's just so many routes that you can take.
Yeah.
And the unions are better than everybody, and the contractors are like, you know, the union's this, and the unions are like, oh, these guys are just freaking, you know, rats. And it's funny because at the end of the day, we all do the same shit.
Yeah, I know.
Like
It's the
we're
same
all
thing.
doing the
It's
same
the
stuff.
same thing.
Now, as far as the pay goes, obviously, you know, the union's probably going to make more money in the long run just because they got all the backing up and everything. But the money's not even in Texas. Like my buddy,
You got to go somewhere.
he was in the union in the Texas area, and he had to go to Pennsylvania to make money, or they go to the West Coast or East Coast. That's where they make money at. Apparently, that's what
You know,
around town is.
So I got a cousin that's a pop line welder, and it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, he was like, if you want to make the money, you gotta
Travel.
You gotta travel.
Yeah, you have to.
And well, then you get like your per diem
Yeah.
that's on top of that, and you get this and you get that, and you get all this different kind of pay. But he's even saying they're like scaling back on all that now.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. It's crazy because, you know, like when you really think about it, these are the guys that are out there making it, you know, the world go round. And especially, you know, all these blue collar trades or whatever. But, you know, I'm not saying that they don't make good money, but in the times that we live in, I don't, and people will probably argue differently, I don't think that we make enough, you know, due to the fact that of inflation and everything else that's going on. Now, if you work in a co-op and you live, you know, in Itasca or something, and you have a good, you know, bought some land, probably your family gave you some land, or, you know, you bought a house out there, it's cheap, but now you got to look at like school district. You're buying school district stuff now, and this and that, and I'm not banging on Itasca by any means, but, you know, you have to move out in order. Well, now you're driving an hour and a half to work every day. You know, it's like now it doesn't make sense. I'm spending money on fuel or this or that, you know. It's just always, if it's not one thing, it's another, right?
Right.
Yeah. So,
No, it's 100% true. But you're right, man. We are you know, I don't really have a blue collar job, but I've had basically 2 jobs my entire life.
That's good.
So when I was in college, waited tables and bartended.
Yeah.
When I started work, I still waited tables and bartended.
Yeah.
And then, you know, whenever I needed to, like I'd be like, I got to, if something came up, I got to go mow some yards. You know, I got to go clear a brush line. I got to go trim some trees for this person.
See, that's blue collar, man.
You know, bro, I would just get out there and do what I got to do to make the money that I needed to make. You just, and
I think blue collar, honestly, I mean, yes, it's a trade, you know, whatever, but I think anybody who's out there grinding, you know, just out there freaking hustling, I think, you know, in my opinion, you're blue collar to me, you know, you're out there getting it.
Oh, yeah, I ain't afraid of work, that's for sure.
So,
well, I grew up in the country.
Yeah.
The work was never done. My dad's probably, if he listened to this, he'd be like, you were a lazy bitch. But, but I got out there and helped, you know, I did some things.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it taught me a lot about no matter what, these things, you know, the things have to get done, and who's going to do them?
Yeah.
Are you going to pay somebody to do this? Because, I mean, you can actually spend the time and put in the work and then learn something too. That's a big thing. I like to learn stuff. And you would think like, oh, what are you learning trimming trees? I was like, you can learn all sorts of different stuff. Just doing these little things. And you don't think that much, but like for one, you get in your head and you be like, man, maybe I shouldn't have been an asshole to that guy, you know, 4 days ago or whatnot. Just because you're just out there, you're exhausted.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I just feel like it makes you a better person, you know, a little bit, you know, just doing that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But you were talking earlier about like the whole like friends and freebies and stuff like that. So I tried to start like I was gonna get my FFL because I still love firearms. I'm a big firearm guy. But I was building my own firearms and doing this, and I was like, this is what I like to do for fun. Maybe I'll try to, make a little money off of it.
Yeah.
And so to start, I was selling ammo and gun parts.
Yeah.
And I was going to work on getting my FFL and then possibly go to like gunsmith school, and really be able to work on stuff. And besides just like piecing together or doing trigger jobs or, putting sights on a gun or whatever, And, I'd put it out there and I would advertise like, hey, I'm doing an order. Like I've got enough right now to where, no ship, you don't have to pay any shipping because I got a big enough order coming in. So anything you want, it's the cost. And when I was starting, I wasn't making any money.
Yeah.
I was like doing it basically for cost so I could just get people in.
Yeah.
And then I was going to try to start like making like 1 or 2 or 3%, like just kind of trickle in that way after I got the customer base. And I had friends that, did firearm stuff, lots of them. And I'm selling ammo for pretty cheap. But yeah, you can go on this website and buy the same ammo and maybe it's $5 cheaper than what I'm selling it to. And I'm not making any money off of it.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't do it. It wouldn't until COVID happened. Then because everybody was sold out of everything.
Yeah.
So then everybody started coming to me like, hey, do you have anything? And I was like, no, man, all my stuff's, all my wholesalers are all dried up because of, the big companies are taking everything and selling it. And I was like, I was just so slow. I wasn't making no money, man. And I couldn't even get you out to spend $5 extra for me not to make money, but just like to get to my company, even try to start rolling.
Yeah.
And it's just wild that happens. And it's unfortunate, but, I think back and I'm like, I don't hate anybody for it or anything like that by any means. But I could see how you get drawn into that, especially when it starts coming into those times of, hey, saving that $5 is a lot, you know?
No, it is.
And, but no, I mean, I feel like we do need to kind of rally around each other a little bit and like take out these big freaking companies that are just, they have a say on everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like for me, for instance, trying to get this going, I mean, obviously I'm not going to sit here and like freaking take down Carhartt or anything.
Yeah. But, well, you never know.
But, I mean, there is companies out there that are doing really great. And I get it, dude. There's so many blue-collar freaking apparel stuff out there. It's insane. But the one that stands out, the ones that do stand out are the ones that have a good following base.
Yeah.
They have support, they have friends. So that's really nice. But just kind of getting it out there and having the people to buy into it is really what it comes down to, I feel like.
Yeah,
if you can get people to buy into it, then you can do exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But it's expensive though. A lot of people that they don't want to get into something if it's expensive.
Oh yeah, just getting an LLC is like $500.
Yeah,
I mean, right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be able to start doing business, and then you get nobody even talks about the paperwork.
Yeah,
and the accounting.
Oh yeah,
and it's just.
I got an LLC, but I mean, I have all my stuff done the correct way. But it's just nice in general to have an LLC.
Oh yeah,
especially with the career that I'm in.
Oh yeah,
I will say if you are in the trade business, for sure, get you some LLC of some sort because it helps at the end of the year for sure.
Oh yeah,
but
I mean, have a small business. Yeah. I think everybody should have some kind of small business. Like I take care of a little clinic, and I just go and I mow the end caps and trim all the bushes every weekend. It's a couple $100 a month, I go out and spend an hour every weekend out there, because I was doing tons of odd jobs, and then I started having to scale back. Like I was strung way too thin, and I was gone every evening, every weekend.
I used to mow some grass in high school, and it's exhausting. You come home and you're just
dude, like I'd work my ass off.
Yeah, I mean it can be some good money if you have some good.
And most of it when I was doing it, so I was cutting people deals and stuff because it was people that just needed help.
Yeah.
And, so I was making like $20 an hour, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and people were like, some people would be like, you need to charge more.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you want to pay me more, I would gladly take it. I was like, most of the time I'm helping people out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm helping this elder person out, or you know, I'm doing this or
Yeah.
I'm doing that. And you know, then again, I was, you know, just had that mentality of trying to help, and I wasn't trying to be greedy.
Yeah. It's crazy you say that because I was doing some shopping around for some hats. I wanted to get some hats made. And so I pulled up my website and I was talking to the guy. And he's all big on Instagram and stuff like that. He's actually local. So I went up there and I was talking to him, and he was kind of giving me the cold shoulder a little bit, and pulled up the website and showing him the prices. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, those hats are too cheap. Like, you need to be selling at least $40 a hat. And I was like, $40 a hat, dude? Like, who's going to buy a $40 hat? Like, people don't even want to buy a $28 hat. What makes you think a $48 hat is going to get sold? And he's like, well, it's going to cost you $30 to just get one hat from me. I was like, yeah, okay, never mind. I'll just continue to keep on trying to do what I need to do, you know? So, I mean, I get it. Everybody has to make their money. But everybody, like, the way I see it is like, so like, with my website, I have another guy that I know. His name's Andrew. It's a company called Line Roots. So with like Shopify, you can get on there and you can do like retailers. So like you can Google a retailer, whoever's using that Shopify, and he can request to have your products on his store, which I've had more sales on his store because he has more stuff than I've probably had on my store, you know? So it's really nice having the help for one.
Yeah.
But also, you know, having that support where you can go to another avenue. It's almost like an energy drink, you know? You can go buy another energy drink or whatever, like QT or whatever. Like all these, like if I could get my apparel to like some small or, you know, mom and pop, or even, I don't even know, like there's some Lyman store like J.L. Matthews or something like that. Just get a couple apparel in there just to see how it goes. Then that's when I feel like would be successful at that point, because then you got all kinds of people coming in. Like,
well, they see it.
Yeah, they see it. They actually see the product, you know, because a lot of people don't have social media. A lot of people don't have TikTok and Instagram or Facebook, or, you know. So I think being able to actually see a product is, when I go to a store and I see a shirt, usually I'll get it and buy it.
Yeah.
But if it's online, I want to try it on. How does it fit? Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with that, you know. So I think the pop-up's coming up soon.
Yeah, I think so.
For sure.
Do you have any coming up that you can
So
plug?
there's a car show in August. It's in San Angelo. There's a lady, her name's Lacey. I forget her last name, but she's doing a big car show there. And I really would like, it's one of Brittany's friends, but she's real involved in like cars and stuff like that. So I really want to kind of go and set up something there.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, a lot of people that are into cars. I mean, if you're into cars or you have a car, you know how much money it costs. Majority of the people I feel like that are in it are probably, I wouldn't say blue collar, but you know, they know what it's about. Like they're in the industry with it, whether you're a mechanic or whatever. You know? So yeah, I think it'll be nice. That's my plan anyways, to go. So.
Well, again, too, like you said, like putting your face out there attached to the brand, so they know who is selling the brand and who you are, which is another big thing too. I think. Anyway, it would be for me.
Oh yeah.
You know, when you just see. So do you know who like Jocko Willink is? So he's like a Navy SEAL, or used to be a Navy SEAL, and now they had this company called Origin, and like every thread is made in the USA to every piece of clothing that they make.
Yeah.
And they make jeans and T-shirts and gis, like jiu-jitsu gis, and work boots and hunting boots and like all this stuff and everything. I think he said, this was years ago, he said that there was like one piece of one boot that he couldn't get here in the United States, and he was trying to figure out the manufacturing for that, because he said that was actually pretty hard to figure out sometimes, like when you're doing your own manufacturing.
Oh yeah.
And so there's like one piece of one boot that he was having to get from like Mexico or something like that. But other than that, everything was coming from the United States. Which is,
I would love to get to that point. Like,
right?
it would be awesome. I mean, obviously, if it was, the business was to take off, it would be awesome to do kind of something like that. But right now, I know that they ship from the United States. I'm sure they're not made. Or I guess they probably are made in the United States. It's just the shirts don't come probably from the United States.
Yeah.
People are making them here and then shipping them off.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is nice, which, typical 4 to 5 business days, you get your shirt.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But
he had to build that, like, social media presence, podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything.
Oh yeah.
To get into where he is now, and now it's a pretty big brand. Like, I mean, well, I guess not to everybody, but I know it is. Like in the jiu-jitsu world, there's a lot of people that are like, they love those Origin gis, and because they're just solid. But of course, it's like $300.
Yeah.
For a gi. But honestly, when you look at gis, like those good, well-made gis, that's what you're paying.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know how much they would go for, but I'm sure that they're made good if they're from the USA.
Yeah, they gotta be, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, one thing you said earlier about, I know you said something about like being able to have a communication with your guys about like treating them good.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I feel like a lot of the trade stuff, as a supervisor or crew supervisor myself, being in charge of the 5 guys, my crew, we go out, we're working every day together. We spend more time together than we do with our own family.
Yeah, right.
Is be able to have a good relationship, you know what I mean? And kind of basically be that mentor or that leader, having that leadership role. I know a lot of people I've heard, that were like my brother, he was in the contracting world. And I mean, like, I get it. You got to be hard. Like, I'm not saying that you don't have to be hard. You're going to have to be hard on some of these guys. And the blue collar is not for, you're going to have thick skin.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But if we know that we're running out of experience, and we know that we're getting to a point where all of the experience, the guys that were on a crew for 15, 20, 25 years as a journeyman, if we know we're not getting to that point, like, being hard, but teaching them, like, actually being a leader is going to make every trade, not just linemen, is going to make them better. Like, actually teaching these guys something. Because at the end of the day, whenever they're done, or they journey out, or they get to, a master, whatever that they do. I know, like, there's like a master electrician and stuff like that. When you get to that point, you're going to reflect back on who taught you.
Mm-hmm.
Your work is going to reflect back who you are. And the trainer that is training that employee or the apprentice is going to show, what kind of like who trained you? Oh, he did. Well, man, dude, that's a hell of a guy. He trained he did you right. Now you know what you're doing. But I really hope that, that's one thing that with the guys that are moving forward and the generation that we're going up right now, that they can really grasp as teaching these guys something.
And being a leader is not yelling at somebody or.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes
yell at somebody if you got to yell at them,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But get that, just get your point across, and then move on.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I don't feel like you got to, like, ring as a leader. You don't just ring out every person that you have.
Like, I mean,
you're the person that should be getting rung out the most, to be honest, if you're the leader, because you're going to lead by example. You got to teach them and all these different things. You got to let people be themselves, but it's getting the point across too, of like, hey, the work's first.
And some people, like, when you're teaching, some people don't learn. Like, some people learn better hands-on. So maybe you have to actually show them. Some people don't. They learn a different route. Like, there's different personalities.
100%.
And I know that's something that you have to be good at. But, a lot of people want the leadership role until you get into the leadership role. And you're like, oh, But I will say that the most successful people that were in my life, they were not screaming and yelling.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, it almost like a father figure. Like, man, like you do something, like, with your dad or something, you're like, man, like, he's really going to be upset with me. Like, you feel bad because you let him down. Like, if your guys feel that way, like, man, like he's gonna be upset. Like I really fucked this up, or I did this wrong. That should be enough.
Yeah.
You know, like you should be like, hey, what'd you learn from this?
Mm-hmm.
I probably shouldn't have done that. You know, like you may sit there and watch these guys struggle, but and that's sometimes people have to learn the hard way. I did, you know.
Oh yeah.
But being able to recognize that and not have to sit here and scream at them and be like, hey, dude, like, you know you fucked up. I know you did. So what can we do to make this better? You know,
Right.
that goes so much further than sitting here cussing, you know, putting somebody down. Like it didn't work in my
Right.
opinion.
Yeah. I totally get that. And you know, as somebody, because I do that to myself. I
Yeah.
put myself down all the time.
Oh, I
You
do
know what I
too.
mean?
I
Like
do.
I'm the worst.
I
I'm the
am.
worst
Me
of
too.
myself. Like, you know, and I'll tell my wife about, you know, oh, you know, the kids did something and, you know, I get
Yeah.
frustrated and blah, 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 and kind of go off. And I was like, you just don't even understand like what I would be, you know, what I'm doing to myself at the
Yeah.
same time.
But that's because you obviously recognize the well, you would recognize basically your flaws in a
Yeah.
way, and you want to be better.
Hmm.
So, and that's fine. But you have to be realistic with yourself too. And you know, a lot of people, and this is just me, like there's sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So if I can sit here and I am hard on myself, well, what am I doing to make myself better to be a better example in that situation? You know? And maybe you have to ask questions and that's okay. Or maybe you have to do your research or,
Yeah.
you know, look it up or whatever it is, you know, maybe stay after work and do a little extra practice on the pole or whatever. I think that that right there just is going to make you an overall great
Yeah.
employee, worker, leader, everything, you know, so.
It is fine because like most of my job too is helping people because they don't know stuff. And man, they ask me questions and I'm like, well, fuck, I don't know either.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I just
I mean,
gotta look it up, or
Yeah.
I know the person. You know, being somewhere so long, I just know the person I could talk
Yeah.
to find out the answer,
Oh, me too. I mean, there's
and
times where I'm like,
that's
oh,
gold. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
And then being able
But
to
what
help
if
them
you
out.
didn't have that?
I know, yeah,
What if you didn't have that? You know, and then now you're running into these guys, like I said earlier, you know, who are they going to go to?
yeah,
That, and then that's when accidents happen,
mm-hmm,
you know? So it's definitely nice to be able to have somebody to lean on to, especially when you have questions like that, especially hard ones, or that could get someone killed,
yeah. That's
you
that's
know?
the big thing. Like what I'm doing, like, yeah, it doesn't. Nobody's life depends on it. You
Oh,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Experience is, dude, I tell you, experience is everything,
100%.
everything, you know?
And you know, it's I you know, talking to my son, he's going to college for civil engineering at A&M.
Oh,
Killing it,
nice.
dude. He's starting his senior year, getting ready to buy his ring.
He'll get a good job. And A&M like a cult, dude.
I know, dude.
Once you go to
I wish
A&M,
we would have bought his ring or could have bought his ring last year because gold went up quite a bit. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, why did it have to double?
Yeah.
That's retarded. But anyway,
yeah,
now he's doing good. But, you know, I told him, I was like, well, what do you want to do? Do you, you know, you have to kind of figure out what you want to do in life. And then I was like, you might not have to go to college. Like, there's some things that it's probably better if you just go to get into the workforce if you're just going to get into the workforce. But he wanted to be an engineer. And I was like, well, there's only one way to do that. Then
Yeah.
you got to go to college first.
that's a good school to go to
Oh, 100%,
for
man.
engineering.
It's kind of funny, too, because so it wasn't even on his list of schools.
Yeah,
And he went to a couple other schools and was like, yeah, all right. And I was like, I go for work. And I was like, I want to have a hotel room while I'm doing this conference. Y'all can, you know,
they do like a tour.
yeah, I was like, I'll do the tour or whatever. And I came and met up with them after they went to the first day because it was 2 days of tours that they had set up. And after that first day, he was like, ooh, I could really see myself going here. I was like, are you serious? I couldn't believe it
Yeah,
because he said he wanted to go to like a small school and this and that. And A&M's huge.
Yeah.
It is so big. And he was like, but just the people.
yeah,
And I was like, that's what I love about coming to this campus. Like,
Yeah.
the people are freaking awesome.
yeah,
And they all help each other out.
yeah. That's awesome.
And, you know, Aggies help Aggies. You know, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
this whole
They do.
thing. And
They do. It's like you graduate from A&M, you're going to for sure get a job.
That's what I told him too. I was like, "Oh, wear that ring, bro.
The networking is.
You earned it."
Yep. Yep. The networking is insane. Insane.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations to him.
He's got a year left or so, maybe a year and a half. I think he's going to have to go one extra semester, but you know, it's one of those. It's hard to get all your classes to fit where they're supposed to fit.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff. But I'm super proud of him. I mean, it's a hard school too. It ain't easy.
Yeah. No, I don't think any college is easy.
And
but A&M definitely.
It's pretty. It's like top 10 in the nation for engineering.
Really?
Yeah.
I know it's good. I know a lot of people that are here. A lot of people that that I work with, that some of them have gone to A&M. So I know one of the guys I used to work with, his daughter's at A&M. I think she's doing engineering too.
Yeah. Oh, they have a huge.
She's about to graduate. Yeah.
Man, their engineering department is it's insane. They can literally make anything that you could think of.
Yeah.
There, they have all the CNC machines and printers, and I mean,
wow,
all this equipment. It's fascinating.
Yeah,
like going there, and then you know their vet school's super prominent too.
Yeah,
like that's a big vet thing. Yeah,
they're proud of that.
And then their football. It's like,
I'm not an A&M fan.
So. It's like the biggest stadium. Oh my God, dude. Going to a game there is insane.
Yeah.
The energy is nothing like I've ever experienced.
I'm an Alabama fan. I know people are going to be like, whatever. My wife, she's a Texas fan. She grew up in Austin. But we went to the Alabama-Texas game, and they played. God, that was crazy.
I bet that was crazy.
Oh, yeah. It was fun. It was hot as hell, dude. I remember my wife was pregnant. She's like, no, I want to go. So we actually went. So what happened was we bought tickets the day, and we bought them from, SeatGeek or whatever it was. And we got there. We were waiting for them to give us the tickets, but the game started. But they never sent us the tickets. But they were like, all right, y'all, just go in. So we went in. Well, they never sent us the tickets, so they just refunded it. So we just went for free.
Oh, that's super awesome.
Yeah. So it was cool. It was a good experience for free.
I bet it was.
Yeah, it was nice.
We usually go and sit in the nosebleeds.
Oh.
And then go.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, it's still awesome. When you just.
I want to take my son to a Texas game this year, and they're just right there. You know what I mean? So, but I think he would really love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really wanted to go to Austin this last year to the Texas Aggie game.
Oh yeah.
And they were apparently a bunch of his buddies like went and because they have a big screen outside the stadium where you can go and like watch outside the stadium, and they were gonna do that because you couldn't get tickets, dude. Like they were insane. Like the cheapest tickets you could find were like $600 something, and I was like, that is stupid. But there's another thing out there if you want.
Shoot.
But yeah, all the games that we've gone to, we went to one too that was at AT&T Stadium, where they play Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
They were like for a few years in a row. Like every year, they just Arkansas and the Aggies went and played at AT&T Stadium, and that was the first game that we ever went to.
Yeah.
And even there, it was insane, the energy. Because, like, you just got, like, random students standing, and they don't sit down the entire time, like the Aggies don't. They're just standing the entire time.
Yeah, when we went to the Texas game, it was... And we actually got really good seats, too.
Oh, really?
We bought the good ones. So that's why, like, when we got them for free, we were like, dang. Like, it was nice. Like, we were down there. And we stood up the whole time, dude. My wife, she's pregnant, sweating balls, dude. I'm talking about, like, she's just dripping sweat, just turning red. I'm like, you want to go? No, we were fine. She was going underneath the bleachers for a little bit. And yeah, it was just fun. It was a good experience. I've never been. That was the first college game I went to.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess, going to the A&M game was the first college game that I ever went to.
So
I've been to a few professional games, and they're fun. Don't get me wrong. Went and saw a few Cowboy games.
Yeah, Cowboys, it's fun to go. But I don't know. I always just buy like the general admission, the standing.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, half the time I'm just kind of drinking, hanging out, talking. But I'm like, I'll glance at the game here and there. So I've never really like bought seats and watched the game, you know.
Yeah.
But
the first one I ever went to was Old Stadium. It was the Redskins.
Oh.
And dude, the Cowboys were getting beat. And so
No.
the third
No
quarter,
way.
yeah, right. In the third quarter, me and my buddy were like, let's get the hell out of here for you so we can miss some traffic, you know?
Yeah.
And we leave, we're listening to the game on the radio, and they came back and fucking won, dude.
Really?
No joke. It was like one of the craziest things. And you'd think I learned my lesson, but I didn't. I went to another Cowboy game, and again,
Did
they
they
were
lose?
playing the Redskins, and they were
Oh.
losing, and me and my buddy laughed. It wasn't the third quarter. It was the fourth
The first quarter?
It,
They
well,
were
it was the
losing by the
fourth.
first?
It was in the fourth, but
I love the Cowboys, but God.
there was only like, I don't know, 6 minutes left, and they
Yeah.
were like 14 points down or something like that. And I was like, they ain't coming back. And we left, and they fucking came back and won. And I was like,
Really?
I can't believe this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The coolest game that I ever went to, a Cowboys game. So my mom won sweet tickets from her work one time. And so we go into the suite, and there's like leather recliners in there.
Dang, luxury.
I mean, and they have
All you can eat?
dude, they had this whole spread set up. It was like Mexican food and like this other stuff, all this stuff you can eat. And then like their refrigerator was full of all this different kinds of beer.
Yeah.
And then they had like bottles of liquor sitting out.
It was all free?
All of it's free. It was
wow.
just her work paid for it, that suite, and that's what they supply you with. And you go, like, you get your own bathroom.
Yeah.
And like the bathroom is humongous. It's like, why do you have this big of a bathroom for like only one person at a time can go in there? Like, they had a shower in there. I was like, well, who's taking a shower at a football
Dang.
game? You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess if somebody had to like come in from work or whatever and wanted to freshen up real quick, they could. But
That's where Jerry's making all his money. or
yeah,
something.
no joke. But it was pretty awesome. And you're in the air conditioning the whole time. That was pretty awesome too.
Was it, you said the old stadium?
No, this was at the
Oh,
new
the
one.
one.
That one was at the new one. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, we went to I took my son to 2 of the Cowboy games, but he was so young. I thought it was going to be cool. I'm trying to take kids to like games of,
Yeah.
no. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be cool.
Take it
My
to a
son-
high school game, bro.
Yeah.
You can save a lot of money.
Yeah, you save a lot of money, you save a lot of time. I think we were only there for like, I don't know, 2 quarters.
Yeah, I was gonna say you buy a bag of popcorn. You're like, here's your
Yeah.
$30 popcorn.
Yeah. We took him to the Ranger game. Dude, he didn't care about the dang game. We just sit there, and I was trying to watch the game because it was a good game. It was actually when they won the World Series,
Oh, really? That's super awesome.
so it was cool. And we wound up leaving early too because he was just like,
Oh yeah,
he wasn't about it. He was not about it.
I get it though. He's still pretty young.
Yeah,
Three's young.
he doesn't act 30, dude. He's smart.
So
Tries to negotiate everything.
that's hilarious. Hey, that's a good trait. Let's. I love that.
Negotiating.
Let's
everything.
negotiate. Let's negotiate because I mean that'll come out later on in life.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he'll be a good lawyer one of these days.
There you go. You know, going to baseball. I like going to baseball games. It's fun.
Yeah.
But so I like the pitching,
Yeah.
and so watching the pitching and like this guy is seriously like he's running the show with whatever pitch he wants to throw against the batter that he's against.
Yeah.
And like to me that's fascinating. So I can watch it on TV because you get to see
Yeah.
everything. But when you go to the game, you're just like,
Oh yeah. Well, you need to go to if you love baseball. You need to go to T-ball game, dude. Like 3-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's fascinating.
do you know what's really fun?
Kids are rolling around, tackling each other.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it's freaking awesome.
Me and my wife, so I started jujitsu a few years ago, but since my injury, I haven't been able to go, but I'm still fascinated with it. So we go to like, when my school goes to tournaments and stuff like
Yeah.
that, people go to these tournaments, like I show up whenever I can, and some of them will have like little kids,
Yeah.
you know, and man, when they're like 7, 8 years old, they go balls to the wall, dude, like slamming each other down and
Really?
like getting after it. I'm like, that is so much fun to watch because it's not, you know, when you're an adult, it's
Yeah.
like, I know what hurts. You know what I mean?
They're just freaking-
They're poo, 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 poo.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, sometimes they'll get up after, you know, and start crying, but it's because they lost. It's
Yeah.
not because they
I would like
got
to
hurt.
I'd like to get my son into wrestling. I know that's
There you go.
but
Wrestling's fun. Wrestling's fun to watch, and dude, the mentality of wrestlers, like
Oh,
watching
yeah.
them in like MMA, because I'm a big MMA fan. So like watching like wrestlers do that stuff, they just throw their bodies
Oh
like
yeah, it's crazy.
into the wind and do all this stuff.
Yeah, my wife, her dad was a state wrestler in Washington. That's where they're from, and so he looks identical to his grandpa. But so maybe he'll,
There you
I
go.
don't know, maybe he'll want to go that route. I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah, I grew up always wanted to do like karate. That was the big thing when I was young.
oh
And
karate.
yeah, never got to do it.
You
Got
went
to play baseball instead.
You went the Karate Kid.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. Well, that and all the martial art movies back then.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like the American Ninja movies and all the Chuck Norris movies and Bruce Lee movies. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff.
They don't have movies like that now.
I know it's
Really?
weird, right?
Yeah, they don't have anything like that.
It's
These kids don't have anything to look up to.
I know, right? Well, you see some of them, but they're terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the acting. Well, I guess the acting was probably terrible back then too, but we just didn't know.
Yeah, I watched a movie the other day. I was like, oh, this is a good one. I forget which one it was. It was Cool Runnings. That's what it was. I know that's. I was watching it. I was like, I can't believe I love this movie.
Oh, I loved it when I was a kid too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in
Watching it now, you're like, what
probably 20 years.
yeah.
What was me and my wife were
I was like, son, come here, look.
I
watch
know.
this movie with me. He was just running around playing with his toys. I'm over there just watching it.
we were watching this. I remember growing up watching this movie and loved it. It was a Christian Slater movie called Gleaming the Cube. I don't know if you see. It's a
haven't seen it.
skateboarding movie.
No.
Dude, me and my wife got like 20 minutes in. I was like, this movie is fucking terrible. Like, I was like, we had to turn it off. I was like, I don't even know how I liked this so much when I was a kid. It was
Yeah.
so bad. I was like, I don't even know. None of the storyline in that first 20 minutes didn't make any sense. And I was
Yeah.
like, what is going on?
That's crazy. Yeah, the stuff that was just so, it was just so fascinating growing up. And now you look back, you're like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Even like videos, like you ever seen like videos of like how they played, like, let's say they video some stuff like back when you were in high school and you look at them now and you're like, dang, that looks old.
Yeah.
Like it almost looks like way past the 90s into the freaking,
Oh, for
like,
sure.
almost the 80s.
Dude, even like in the early 2000s when you had like the little digital cameras.
Yeah.
And like I found one and I was like, oh, let's go see some of these videos. And I'm like, what is this? We're so spoiled now with the new technology.
I know I am. With that fancy camera I got, I just made a video with the camera and I was so excited. My wife's like, oh yeah, cool.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, look at this, dude.
Hey, that stuff's pretty cool to
I
me
need to
too.
be a freaking movie director.
Hey, I need another camera.
Now with the whole setup. No.
Nah, it's fun though. Like, I don't know. Being a guy, I don't know. I like doing stuff.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about it is like, you cannot sit here and say you as a man you don't have like some stupid hobbies for you.
Oh,
I mean, I'm sure for me, I always have something going on. Wife, like, why can't you just settle down? Why can't you just chill out? I don't know, man. I just can't
well, it's
chill
because
out.
constantly we're just worried about everything.
Yeah.
And that's the only time that we can actually get a break,
Yeah.
from it. Like, I went out with a buddy not too long ago. He's got a side by side.
Oh yeah.
So we went to Crossbar Ranch in Oklahoma.
Oh, I
and
bet you
we
that was fun. I heard
Drove
about
around
that.
for like 7 hours
Yeah.
out there, and dude, I was like, that's the most fun I've had in a very, very long time.
Yeah, my buddy has a Can-Am, and dude, he's like, you got to get one of these. I'm like, dude, I'm not dropping $32,000 on a Can-Am.
Dude, I'm
That's
looking
not
at used ones, and I'm still like, these are out of my price range.
Yeah, I'm not. No, let me finish my car first.
He did
One
send
step at a
me.
time.
He sent me a razor the other day, and he was like, "Dude, this one's only $3,000, but it's complete. It was built. They stripped everything for
Yeah.
racing.
Oh,
So like, dude, the clutch is like out in the open. Like it doesn't have like the housing around it because they're trying to cut weight.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna have to buy so much. I would have spent $30,000 trying to build this thing back to what it was.
That's how it was with the boat. I bought a boat. I bought like an old Moomba boat. It was like an 80 something. Or no, it was probably 90s. But it was an old ski boat. I was like, yeah, I bought it for like, I don't know, $3,000. Yeah, I put all this money into it. And one day we went out to the lake and I put a radio system in it. Well, I only had one battery. and the freaking battery died in the middle of the lake.
Oh shit.
So I had to literally, like, at that point in time, I'm new to all this stuff. So I'm literally like trying to paddle my way to land. And so, of course, we know we weren't too far from like where someone could meet us with another battery. But I had to call somebody and be like, hey, dude, I need you to buy a battery. I need you to meet me over here at this spot. And so they had to walk through the woods to get to me. So I swam the boat up to the land, changed the battery out. And I was like, God, I need to get rid of this boat. Like, it is going to freaking drain me dry. So I wound up turning around and selling it for like 10 grand. But
that's not bad.
Moral of the story is, yeah, fixing up stuff is just, it's a pain in the ass,
Yeah.
dude. It is. Trying to fix up stuff like that. Now, if you like know what you're doing, and yeah, I'm sure you can make it work, but.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, you saw I drive a Jeep out there, and grow up in the country, love four-wheeling, love doing all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, my wife has a four-door Jeep.
Y'all do the off-roading thing? Something like that?
Something like that. I remember, so when we got her Jeep,
Yeah.
we got it brand new in 2017, and we got married. So we bought it in September, and we got married in November.
Yeah.
And we went to Angel Fire, New Mexico. I hadn't even made a payment on this thing yet. And she gets real bad altitude sickness. Like, she's out.
Yeah.
She can't function. She can't do nothing. I'm like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I just drove like 18 hours from New Braunfels to Angel Fire, all in, one big long thing in the Jeep. And she's like, I'm out. I have a headache, and I'm just going to sleep. And I was like, all right, well, I want to go take the Jeep out, try to find some trails or whatever.
Yeah.
So I go into Red River, found this trail, and I start going up it. And I'm like, all right, I'm going through some stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is freaking cool. You know what I mean? Like, there was some stuff I was kind of like, I start going around this corner, up this hill, and I can't see. And this is where you have a spotter, or, you get out and look. And I haven't been four-wheeling, nothing like this. Never up like a mountain or anything. And I was like, I can't see. I don't like this. And immediately it went, roar. I went in this big washout, dude. And the Jeep, turned down. It was like this in a hole.
What'd you do?
So I was like 2 miles up on this mountain. There's no cell phone service. So I had to hike down the whole mountain to get back into, like, down to the ground where I got cell phone service. And it's a ghost town because in November there's no snow yet.
Yeah.
So I'm calling all these Jeep places that, they do Jeep tours there. No answer, no answer, no answer. Finally, one guy answers. He's like, what's up? He lives there.
Yeah.
So I tell him where I'm at, and he meets me out there, and he just pulls up in this.
At this point in time, it was like getting dark.
Not quite yet. It was still like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
So we started going up there, and he was like, Jesus Christ, you picked a trail, dude. Like, and I was like, is it that bad? Like, I was like, this is just like,
dude, I got a Jeep,
normal stuff, And he's got this Jeep. It's got 35s on it, like bigger than what we just got like stock, everything's stock.
Yeah.
And we get up there, and he's like, Jesus. He gets out, he looks at the Jeep, and he goes, you could eat off the bottom of this thing. Like, it's that clean. I was like, dude, I haven't even made a payment on this yet. And I was like, it's my wife's. And he's like, and we're on our honeymoon. And he's and I lost my wedding ring going down the mountain because it was too big.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It was a whole bunch of really bad scenarios. So we just hooked the winch up to, I just hooked it up to like the axle, dude, and just whoop, pulled it right out.
Yeah.
Like, no big deal. Went back down. Smoked a little bit, but I made sure before I took off, like, I checked all the oil, make sure there was nothing like mixed up or anything like that, because I didn't want to ruin a brand new motor and all that. And everything was fine.
Yeah.
So went down. But there was some dents. There was a little bit dents on one side of it. And
did he give you some advice? Like, hey, maybe next time, like.
No, he didn't give me any advice. He was just like, he called me later on that evening and was like, hey, buddy, I just wanted to check on you. Make sure your wife didn't murder you. It was fine. He was a fun dude. Yeah. He lived by himself in this little shack where he runs that Jeep operation. He's got like all these Jeeps. It's like where people can sit on top of the Jeeps.
Yeah.
And then he's got Jeeps you can rent and go do all this stuff. And then he does like all these tours. And he just lives in like this little shack with his dog.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm here all the time.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, that's a simple life.
Yeah,
It is.
but it
Very
was,
simple.
yeah. She didn't talk to me for like a day and a half.
Oh, that's it. That's good.
Yeah, wasn't too bad. She was like, "I'm just glad you're okay, but
Yeah, don't talk to me.
God, you're an idiot." And I'm like, yeah, you left me unsupervised. It's like it's more
Yeah,
your
don't
fault than
leave
mine.
anybody in supervised. Don't leave me in supervised.
Not with the Jeep in the mountains.
Yeah.
I learned a lot though. Yeah, but we haven't done much since then. Always wanted to like. That Jeep's pretty old, and it's getting to the point where I'm like, I need something new. It's a 2010, so it's getting there. And one of the things I'm gonna do is kind of that'll be my hobby. Build it
Yeah.
out, be able to take it out. Something
There you
breaks,
go.
screw it.
I would like
It's not a daily driver anymore.
Yeah,
So
I would like one of those sand buggies, or what is it
oh
called?
yeah,
Yeah, like put some big tires on it and just freaking take it out. But we don't even what Oklahoma's probably the closest thing.
there's actually quite a few around here. There's like one in Mansfield that's a off road park,
Yeah,
but a couple hours I think you're gonna be done.
yeah,
There's one outside of Austin. I think me and my buddy are gonna go to it next because I think you can actually spend a day out there. They probably got like 70 miles worth of trails,
oh, that's cool.
and I mean we only did 40 miles that day, and we did 7 hours. You know, because you're only going most of it. You're only going a few miles an hour. You know,
Yeah,
so yeah, I think we're gonna go camp down there,
oh, that would be cool.
and then yeah, just go four wheeling his little buggy, dude. That thing is awesome. He's got a
Heck yeah.
Kawasaki KRX that 1000,
Yeah,
and it's only got like 31-inch tires and everything. But man, I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know if this thing's gonna make it. Like these rocks are big. Like I don't know if
yeah,
Ed. Well, we'll give it a shot, you know. And then
just creeping up there.
and I was like, that wasn't even rough.
Dang.
It was like the couch is just taking you places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, I've always seen stuff like that. They used to have a show. Remember? Like where they would have like on TV or what was it on? Like ESPN or something maybe? Where they would have like those competitions where the Jeeps would go through all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I think I have one on DVD still. It was like,
They would actually have like competitions.
yeah,
and
they had like
stuff.
10 different vehicles
Yeah.
every year. And all these people would put their submissions in. They would pick 10 vehicles. And then they would just take them and they just,
And somebody would be like on this rock, like, oh yeah, like,
taking them through like
Yeah.
all sorts of shit. And I was like, it was like super extreme. I was like, I would never take any of my crap through any of this.
maybe
but
it
these
wasn't on
guys,
ESPN.
I know what you're talking
but
about.
it was on something.
trying to
I
think
remember
of
it was on
what
the
it's
TV. Something off road.
But I have one. I have a DVD that's like that.
Yeah.
And dude, at the end of it, they have to go through this big long trail, and if you make it through,
Yeah.
you get scored or whatever by your time.
Yeah.
And they had 10 vehicles, and only one vehicle made it.
Yeah. And there would be some that flip and
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah.
they destroy everything.
I remember that. Yeah.
It was a good. Yeah, I remember watching the shows too, where they're just like this dude in a garage just building stuff, like building a Jeep or building this or building that, and he's just in there doing everything himself.
Yeah,
Of course, it's an hour show,
Yeah.
and he builds this whole thing. Of course, it probably took him a whole month of every single day to do that. But I used to love watching those shows.
Yeah, they used to have a bunch of car stuff back in the day. You turn on TV and someone's building some car. Now they don't have anything like that really. Not well. I haven't really paid attention. I don't even watch TV. So
Yeah, but dude, we got Netflix and
Netflix and Prime and I don't even think I had. The only time I ever turned on the news or the TV part of that was when there was that tornado that was going to hit in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only time I've ever turned. I mean, I haven't turned on the news or anything like that.
man, I was just getting my phone.
Yeah, well, I don't know what was going on. I wanted to see some live action.
Yeah,
But you can get on YouTube now and do those storm chasers where they're like
right there.
right there and they're talking about, oh yeah, that's tornadoes over here. It's about to touch down. Like, oh shit. Yeah.
I know. So one of the guys that was running for council, he came up here. He grew up in Oklahoma, like drag racing and stuff, and he was on a show on the Discovery Channel.
Oh really?
Yeah,
That's freaking cool.
I know, right? I was like, that's freaking awesome, dude. He used to just build cars. He's got videos of him like, no wheelie bars, no nothing. He was like, wheelie bars were pussies. And I'm like, dang. And he was
Yeah.
like, yep. And he goes, then I got married and I don't race anymore.
Yeah. Sold everything.
Actually, he's got a Chevelle still.
Really?
Yeah. He's got I think he said it was 68, 67, something like that.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's a good year.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I don't know what, dude. I bought this motor from my car. I don't even know. The guy was like, I think you got a little too much power for this car. So I don't know. I'm a little nervous. We'll see. See what happens. I mean, I grew up in the drag racing scene with my dad. My dad raced his 72. He had like a 454 in it. But I mean, it's nothing like what they make now. Oh, I say that. You can get some good power out of 454 and even your 350s. But
It's kind of crazy now, those smaller motors with the power that they're getting out of those because they don't weigh as much.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, there's like old school cars that they have, like a 350 freaking bored out or whatever it is that they're doing. And they're blowing these like new Corvettes out of the water.
I know.
Yeah. So, I mean, not on the highway by any means.
No.
Yeah. But when you're drag racing.
Hey, Corvettes are fun.
Yeah. That's my buddy wants a Corvette. I was like, dude, everybody has a Corvette, man.
Well,
It's something different.
They're fast.
No, but like, old people have Corvettes.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
But still, it's fast.
Or young people do, I guess. There's some young people. I just can't afford one.
Yeah. Because I want to get a car because I go to Fort Worth every day now for work. And I was like, I need a sedan. So if we take a road trip or whatever, we don't have to drive a Jeep because it sucks taking it.
My wife just got the new, what is it, the 2027 Kia.
Oh, yeah?
Telluride. Dude, that thing is bad. It's
Really?
nice. Yeah. I mean, it's slow as hell, but it's nice. Really nice.
I was looking at like the Chargers.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I was like, I'm hitting my midlife crisis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I want a fast car.
I think I've already hit my life crisis.
Nah, you ain't idiot.
Or I just hit it. I was just going to consistently stay midlife crisis, I guess.
I don't know. I just want to turn everything now into experiences. I worked. I mean, I did a lot of stuff when I was young, but it wasn't like I didn't go places and do things. Yeah. It was all stuff around here, concerts and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I love concerts, but like, I'd like to go to like Ireland or, Scotland. Just go do a little bit of traveling and go see some stuff that, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Make experiences. And so now I'm just basically trying to work for that. And this is part of that too, because to me, when I just get to talk to new people or whatever, it's an experience for me because I get to learn so much.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. I like being here in Texas. My wife's a traveler. She did some cruise and like, she went to like Sweden and they did like a little thing over there. And she enjoyed it. She loves that stuff. I mean, dude, you ain't gonna catch me on a boat. You ever seen the Titanic?
Dude, I can't. Well, luckily, my wife will never do a cruise because she's claustrophobic. So I'm like, sweet, because I don't want to be put on a boat where I'm forced to pay for overpriced everything. I just like going and doing stuff.
I want to go to Belize. I want to go to Turks and Caicos. We went to Belize for my birthday last year.
Oh, yeah? Was that fun?
Beautiful. Beautiful. That was fun.
I want to go, like, I really want to get, like, a motorhome and then get, like, a little car hauler, put my Jeep on, and, like, pull that around.
You go to Utah, dude.
I know, like Utah, Montana, any of those places.
We went to Montana to go skiing, and dude, it's beautiful. But I would love to go to Utah, like the Moab or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Been seeing a lot of videos on the Moab Trail.
I would really like to, like, get a canoe and, like, go down, pick a side, or just kind of dock wherever, camp, set up like an old school camp, just do some, like,
Me and a buddy did that growing up. Like, we would just go rent a canoe and then just take off down the river and then camp.
Yeah. And
then, fish and do all this different stuff. I don't want no, like,
deliverance type deal, but,
No. Yeah, I'm going to stay away from that. I'm taking a firearm. Taking a pistol.
For sure. When you start hearing the banjo play, it's time to probably pack up the stuff and head down the river.
Let's go. But no, did a lot of stuff like that. Dude, the backpacking thing was fun. I really want to do like a hunting trip, but instead of like just like go on some government land
Yeah.
and where you just got to hike. You know,
My
you got to
buddy.
hike 2-3 days
Yeah.
in
Oh,
to
yeah.
even start.
They do that at those national parks, don't they? I think so.
I don't know.
I think you can do that with like a bow or whatever. One of my good buddies I work with, he owns some type of thing in Africa where he takes people out there and they have like a resort style type setup,
Oh, I bet that's awesome.
and they can hunt crazy stuff.
I would like to get to the point where I could bow hunt, but you got to be in
He says
super shape.
He says, you know, you ain't a real hunter if you ain't bow hunting.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, okay.
I hear that.
No, you ain't a real hunter if you ain't using a knife.
Yeah, you got to sneak up on them.
Yeah. I want a spear.
Yeah, no joke.
Old school.
I would love
That's
to be
not
able
even
to
old school. What is that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess like the Indians and stuff, that's what they use, like bows or spears or and horseback.
Yeah. That's real hunting.
That's well, I mean, I don't even know if that was hunting. It was
Survival.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I wanted to do that for the last few years, and hopefully maybe this year I'll go. Probably won't take a rifle or anything. I'll probably just pick a spot and then just go camping, like backpacking camp, and figure some things out, and then maybe next year go actually hunt. Just because I've never done anything like that before, and
I've never been hunting.
really
Never.
well.
I've been dove hunting.
I've never
Dove
been
hunting's
hunting.
kind of fun. You know, you sit
Oh,
there
yeah.
and drink some beer, listen to music. Like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not going to sit there and just
Oh, for sure.
for
I
like
got
6 hours and be like, yeah,
I got a
I'm
chocolate
going to hit the
lab,
best
dude.
deer there is, man.
I got a chocolate lab. She go out there and get it for you.
Yeah.
After you
Or
shoot,
like,
go.
yeah. Or like hog hunting seems like, you know, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
But as far as like sitting out in a deer stand and just waiting for it to
That's
hit,
what I'm talking about. Like, that's the only deer hunt I've ever done, really.
Yeah.
And that's why I was saying, like, I want to go hunt.
like if you were to go hunt, like
I'm gonna go-
actually like take like your own stand with you and have to like set it up in a tree and
It's
like
not
you're like
even-
Tarzan over here, you
It's
know,
not
like,
even a stand. Like, basically,
or whatever you're doing.
so you hike out there and you camp, and then you have to pay attention and stuff, like where the water is, where are they feeding,
Yeah.
where are tracks, where's this, and figure out like
That would be
what they're
fun.
doing. And then you get like a base camp that's
Yeah.
away from that. So every day you have to like wake up
Yeah.
and hike for a few hours to go and scout, and you're trying to find these things.
Yeah.
And then when you find something, then that's where the hunt starts, where you're like
Yeah.
prowling on them. You know, you're
Because-
sneaking in.
Yeah. Because I feel like at that point in time, you don't want to miss an opportunity. So
Right.
you know, like there's people that deer hunt and they're like, oh, this deer just come in and you know they're sitting there and they're like, oh, we'll pass and we'll get the next one. You know, when you're doing that kind of hunting, you don't have a lot of time. Like you've already kind of, let's say you've been there for 2 days, like you haven't seen anything. Obviously, on the third day, you're like, okay, I need to shoot the next thing that I see. Probably, you
Yeah.
know, I would imagine. I don't know. I'm not a hunter. So.
Just gotta be patient. Make sure it's what you want. Make sure it's a good shot. That's the big thing. Is you don't want to wound something.
Yeah, being patient. Yeah, that's not.
You definitely gotta be patient when you're out, especially like that when you're not feeding them,
Yeah,
and they hear and smell everything.
yeah,
So you got to figure out which way the wind's blowing, so they don't smell you. And that's how you have to kind of, because if the wind's blowing this way and they're over here and you're over here, and you don't have a good shot, and the wind's blowing this way, well, you can't walk this way because then the wind's blowing your scent in their direction. You have to come in through the other way.
Oh wow.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they don't smell you, and then they can't hear you either. So you have to be super quiet, super slow,
Yeah, that's intense.
and then but when you get it,
Yeah.
you're like, hey man, I got enough food for my
I
family
work, I
for
work hard for this.
yeah.
You're gonna eat this shit.
Oh, for real. It fills up your freezer, and you're
What'd
like,
you do if
man,
you get home and you then worked all this, like you put all this time in, and your kids are like, ew, I don't want that.
just don't tell them.
Yeah.
Just don't tell them what it is.
You're gonna eat this meat.
Yeah, because my wife's like, I don't like venison. I'm like,
It's not that bad.
but you will. You'll eat it.
Yeah.
You can just turn it all into burger,
Yeah.
hamburger, man. Have them put some pork fat in there with it.
Oh yeah. But
Well, brother, you got anything else you wanna plug on, or go
No.
ahead and plug your website and all that stuff again.
yeah, so my website, bluecollarmentality.com. You can get on there and find that. And then, of course, Instagram, Blue Collar Mentality, same thing. They're pretty much all the same. So if you just Google Blue Collar Mentality,
All comes up.
it all comes up.
Very smart.
Yeah.
I probably need to do more things than this. I need to get a website and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't done any of that.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, the website's easy. I can help you out with the website.
Yeah, I don't know
It's really
anything.
not hard.
I'm not
I did
a
it
very
myself.
techie person.
I mean, it wasn't really that hard. Just plug it in. But I can show you.
That'd be awesome, man.
Heck yeah.
Well, brother, it's good meeting you, man.
I appreciate the
Super glad
opportunity.
you came on.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right. Bye, everybody.
See you.